deep in the heart of Texas.
What the hell do you guys want? And more important than that, how the hell did you find out where I was at? If they want some answers, they should have sent someone with some authority. Do you agree with me? Well, it really don't matter if you agree with me or not. On second thought, once you just sit your little carcass down at that table, I'll answer every little question you got. Before we get started with anything, like I said, we're on my time, so we're going to do things like I want to do them. I want to cover something right off the bat.
We're in the business of winning.
The first thing I want to be done is to get that piece of crap out of my ring. I'm serving notice. I don't give a damn what they are. They're all on the list, and I'm fixing to start running through all of them.
We're in the business of winning.
I'm talking about all the way to the top, yeah. But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
We're in the business of winning.
It's been so fast you can't even talk about it. Things are just popping right now. Things are starting to cultivate. Things are starting to grow. Things are getting real colorful.
We're in the business of winning.
Don't bet against me.
I don't bet anyway.
Lose your life.
We're in the business of winning.
Are you kidding me?
We're in the business of winning.
Are you kidding me?
We're in the business of winning.
Yeah, absolutely total control right there. Watch this. Champion's prerogative, and I just exercised that option.
Real fast, this is going to be the order starting with Judge. So Judge, Rex, OG when we go around the horn, since Judge won last time. And then when we'll do this rotation for trivia as well. But I'm going to use the bathroom real fast, and then we'll get started soon after, unless there's any questions or anything like that.
Yep. What's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
Hey. Well, you all will be happy to know that I did not go with old school 50s, 60s guys on this list. Okay.
All right.
I did not go
back.
Yeah.
Of course you didn't. Of course you didn't.
To Naismith and them.
Well, I was going to go with Fog Allen as my small forward.
Oh,
but,
yes, of course. Him. I know him. He was dropping them little post moves back in the day.
Yeah. Or Joe Lapchick as my power forward.
Nice.
But then I decided, nah. But no, it's that was something I was reading about. You know, the coaching tree. That's what I would like to do a show on, if I can win. Trivia.
You gotta keep from winning them. We ain't doing it about coaching trees.
Yeah, do it about coaching trees, because guys like Pop, who are 6 degrees removed, 6 degrees of separation removed from James Naismith. You know, it's a direct lineage straight down to him. It's just funny when it's very interesting when you learn that basically every great coach in modern in basketball history came from the two guys that learned from Naismith, with Fog Allen and then what's his name at Kentucky. They both played for Naismith at Kansas, and practically every great coach has come from that lineage, other than the Boston lineage behind, Red Auerbach.
Judge, I just want to let you know, and I told Robin this earlier, I'm going to be sending your guys' stuff out on the 1st, so I could get a little bit more money in my account. Because I gave like $200 worth of stuff away, so I didn't tell her. So
just letting you guys know, I may have to get out of here by 3 o'clock, 3:30 New York time. I got a contract. I gotta go do some work. So, but I think my team is gonna second round knockout everybody today. So it's okay.
I got 5 Draymond Greens. So
coming in hot.
Well, at shooting guard, I got 1987-88 Michael Jordan. At point guard, I got 1988-89 Michael Jordan. At small forward, I got 1995-96 Michael Jordan. And
you don't want to make my day like that. You don't want to make my day. Please make my day, Rex, and do that for all of us right now. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Well, we'll do it like last time, or we'll go and we'll say our teams first, and then we'll all get into it. If people want to talk about after we go through everyone's team first, we'll revisit starting with Judge, their team specifically. But I'm going to start it up right now. Is there any other questions about how we're going to do this, or
I have to go first? Is that what you guys saying? Do I have to go first? You
won. You gotta go first. It's your. Well, I guess you get to choose.
But if I win, don't I get to pick? Don't I have to have my say? Like,
let him go last. You want to go last?
Well, the topic is what you picked.
Huh?
The topic is what you picked. You picked the topic. You don't want to go first with your own topic?
Which is box with Nick.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want anyone to hear my list and change up their list. That's
no, we don't do that.
Nobody should do that.
Has anyone ever done? I don't do that. Mine's printed out right here.
Sean Connery on there.
Mine's all up here, but I feel I kind of want to go second or third.
I'll go first.
You want to go last, or you want to go in the middle?
No, not last. Last is too close. I think like second or third is fine.
All right. So how about this? We'll do this. How about that? You go second after Robin, since Robin said we'll go first.
All right.
You all ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. We're going live. We're live with Michael Jordan Fans Are the Best, and today we're going to be talking about the ultimate team, fantasy team, that would win in today's NBA rules. Starting in the middle, we got Robin, Sports and Fitness Rants, regular on the show. All these guys are regulars. Judge SP up in the top right. We got Politicus Rex down in the bottom left. We got the OG Garfield down at the bottom wearing some great merch. And then we got Nick NNB Sports down at the bottom right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around the horn. We're also going to be having a trivia challenge as well, as we regularly do, starting with Robin. Robin, what is your I hope all of you are doing well. And if you're not, then I hope you get better.
How are you doing, bro? How are you doing?
I am doing fabulous.
Yeah.
And my team is 5 Draymond Green, so we're gonna win. So
It better not be 5 Draymond Green. Don't come out here early with the Draymond Green talk at the beginning of the show. Don't do that today.
I got you.
That better not be a cop out like that.
It's not 5 Draymond Greens, but anyway.
I can't wait to hear Nick's. I can't wait to hear Nicky's stuff, man.
5 Dirks.
That's right, Dirk. I got Dirk running the point.
And Nash.
Nash at the 5, Dirk at the point.
But yeah, Robin, what is? We're gonna go around the horn, starting with you, Robin. What is your for today's NBA rules? What team have you drafted in your hypothetical world?
Yeah, man. So it's great to be back again, man. Another one, guys. And yeah, I thought about this for a little bit. And I'll be honest, I was biased when I made these picks, man. I went with guys that I liked. I liked their game. It had nothing about, like we said, it's not about the top 5 of all time or the best players at each position of all time. It's about our top 5. Who would we get for our top 5, right? So I went with Magic Johnson at the point guard position. To me, Magic Johnson, I mean, he's just the guy you want running the show out there. I mean, it's Magic Johnson, right? I mean, do I have to say who I got? The shooting guard? You know who's running it too. You know that Michael Jeffrey Jordan is there, the 2 guard. Who else do you need? Who else do you want? If Michael Jordan is not on your starting 5, you will lose the game. I'm saying it right now. All right? At the small forward, you won't believe it, but I'm going with Scottie Pippen. That's right. If you know my channel and you see the videos I do, I might give Scottie Pippen some hate, but I recognize his game, and him and Michael Jordan together are the greatest defensive duo in the history of the league, guys, in my opinion, of course. At the power forward position, we're going with Sir Charles Barkley. My man, the round mound, the rebound. To me, Charles Barkley at his peak, I don't know, man. I don't know if anybody else could touch him. The man was sensational. And at the center position, we're going to go with Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, one of my favorite centers of all time, one of the great two-way players of all time, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. I don't have to say much about the man, but he's a class act. We all love his game. We all love his hustle. We all love the heart that he exemplified out there all them years. So shout out to all those guys.
All right, Judge, what is your team that you've selected?
So we're gonna hear everybody's team, and then we're gonna go through.
Yeah,
we'll go everybody's team.
Yep.
Okay. I want to say my team, but Robin's team, man, like, I'm so caught off guard. I can't believe what he did. Like, me, if the viewers on this show know, I'm kind of strategic. I'm kind of I'm a Ginsu knife. It's got to be accurate. My team is designed to beat everybody's team because I aim for almost no holes on offense, no holes on defense, or minimal holes on defense. Because I figured the team we're all bringing, everyone's bringing top-notch dudes, right? So defense, offense, this is where we're going to go. So this was not an easy list because it wasn't as, our favorite guys or the top 5 guys. It's an unbeatable team list. And Robin, you're not going to be here in the end because I'm going to give you guys my list right now. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys my perimeter players. I'm going to give you my perimeter players. And I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to give you my perimeter, and then I'm going to give you my devastating Megatron front court team. Okay. So the first one was really tough to say because no player is perfect except for Michael Jordan, and we're not going to have 5 Jordans. So I won't keep you guys waiting. I have a shocker for you guys, just like Robin did. And of course, I have on my perimeter, I have Michael Jeffrey Jordan on my team. Michael can stretch out the offense all the way to the 2, long 2, can hit an occasional 3, but he's going to kill you with so much speed from 18 feet out with a barrage of moves from the perimeter. And on defense, he can cover any perimeter player from the 1, the 2, and he can even cover the 3, especially the 1 and the 2. I got you. So I got Jordan on my team. It's unstoppable offense. Anytime, any type of set, any type of screen, any type of high elbow action, I have it done. Okay, check it out now. Now, some of the young people listening, they're not going to like what I'm saying, but I'm going to go with Magic Johnson. Now, why did I go with Magic Johnson over LeBron James? Yes, LeBron can jump higher and his dunks look better and he's an amazing basketball player. But with the fleet of talent I'm going to assemble for you guys today, I need distribution. I need distribution of the basketball. People talk about the Golden State Warriors. Oh, the ball's always moving. On my team, the ball is always moving. It's not like a pinball machine. It's worse than that. I got Magic Johnson facilitating, half court, transitional. I'm gonna kill you. I'm getting the steals. I'm not getting all the blocks, but I have the length. So I'm getting what would I call it? It's not blocking the shot, but I'm getting in your way. I always have a hand in your face, right? I can shoot the ball, and my free throws is in the high 80s, low 90s. So I got Magic and Michael. Okay, here we go now. This was really difficult for me who I put, and this is why I put Magic, because basketball people know Magic started off this thing. He was playing the small forward. As a matter of fact, before Norm Nixon was gone, Magic was playing a little bit of three. He's kind of like a positionless player. So I went with somebody offensively who you cannot stop on the perimeter, who will gobble you up on defense. I went with the late, great Kobe Bryant. I got Michael and I got Kobe on the wings. We all know Kobe may have more skills than Mike. I can stretch you out to the three-point line. Let's not talk about the two-pointers. Let's not talk about the ones, because I could defend the 1, 2, and 3. So those are my perimeter guys: Michael, Kobe, and Magic. Okay, I'll explain why later. Now this is the difficult part of my list. At the 5, I had to go with a commanding center who can block more shots than Hakeem Olajuwon, who can block more shots than Mark Eaton, block more shots than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I had to go Wilt Chamberlain. He's the fastest guy in the NBA. He's one of the quickest guys in the NBA. He can jump. He can touch the top of the backboard, right? He invented the fadeaway jumper, so I can clear the paint out for my 4-man. He invented the fadeaway jumper. He's the original paint. No, Mike Kinnon is there, but he's one of the original paint monsters of the NBA. And beautifully, he's an amazing passer. He could facilitate my offense if I need him to. And here came the hardest part of my list, picking my power forward. Oh, man, this I still don't know. Honorable mention to Hakeem Olajuwon. But I did not go Hakeem because of his weaknesses. Rex will tell you he's not the greatest passer. He's not a great passer. So this ball needs to keep moving. When he gets the ball, he goes into action. He's a great isolation player. On defense, he's a god. I took out Kareem. And I wanted to go Larry Bird to stretch out the paint for Wilt Chamberlain. But I didn't want anybody to pound out my guy in the paint. So I had to go Kevin Garnett at the 4.
I knew he was going to do that.
I had to go Kevin Garnett at the 4 because now I have my ultimate. Now I have a 7-foot. Now I have a 7-foot Scottie Pippen. I have a 7-foot Scottie Pippen. I got a 7-foot Scottie Pippen on my team with more defensive instincts than Pippen, who can hit the long twos, the most versatile defender, arguably in the history of the NBA. Who's long, 7 feet tall, can hit the 2, can hit the post, can steal, can block. And I took him over Hakeem because he's an amazing passer. He averaged 6 assists a game, passing to scrubs. You guys, who's your team?
All right, Rex.
Okay, well, I tried to get some cohesiveness in mind, and amongst the players, and 2 things that stood out to me are the fact that I said this is supposed to be playing under modern rules. So that changed a couple of my players from a team that I normally pick in these situations. So what I did, because it's modern rules, and this is a team, how they play together, I went with Magic at point, Kareem at center. Their success together, everyone here knows. I went with Steph as shooting guard because of the modern rules mentioned. That we're going by the age of the three, you got to have the best 3-point shooter. But then I also threw Bird in there because Bird and Magic actually played together when they were young on a team, had a lot of respect for each other. Even though they constantly went against each other, I think they would play very well together. We saw them playing in the Dream Team together. And Bird is also going to stretch that floor because of the modern rules. And then Nick, are you listening?
I'm listening.
Dirk is my number 4.
Let's go.
Now, I understand there's not a whole lot of defense on this team, but we're going by modern rules where great defenders are going to be limited by the rules of the day. So I got rebounding, I've got 3-point shooting, and I have ball distribution. And if I can take 5 seconds, I made up a bonus playground team of Magic, Jordan, Doc, Barkley, and Wilt. Take them to any playground in America, and you're playing until the lights get cut off.
Yeah. All right, OG, what is your team?
Well, in true OG fashion, I've got technically a multiple. First
Your
and
5 players are 10.
Yeah, first and foremost, I thought I could go real super easy and just say the 92 Dream Team. You take any one of those 5 or any 5 players out of all, well, except for the college kid.
I was about to say, you include Leitner in that?
Yeah, except for Leitner, but you could do any combination on that, because if you can recall back and everything, first and foremost, Chuck Daly never called a timeout at all during the whole Olympics. And they average win playing, supposedly against everybody's best teams that were brought to the Olympics and everything. The average win was by 46 points a game. So I could have gone that way, just easy combination, but I did do a little work and put in a little effort and stuff, and I come up with my 5. First and foremost, I think we're pretty consistent. Magic Johnson at the point, no doubt about it. That's the easiest position to be able to fill. Number 2 on the 2, in his prime, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. How do you not have him? I mean, that to me, you have to have him. Now the 3, this is where I'm going to throw it off a little bit, and it's me being a homer. Larry Joe Bird. Cannot have a 3 there without Larry Joe Bird. Now I'm going to skip the 4 because that's going to be my controversial one, but I'm going to go with the 5 first and say Bill Russell, the anchor. All of his wins. I respect, Wilt Chamberlain, Akeem Olajuwon, all that stuff, but with just his, you figured the 11 championships, he locked down that middle against a bunch of greats all through, the 60s and everything like that. And then my 4, because you got a lot of big egos and you got a lot of just everything. Tim Duncan at the 4. But Tim Duncan at the 4 because, Mr. Fundamental, not the huge big ego. I think he would have just meshed in there with everybody, and it's a decent, solid front line, for rebounding, garbage points, all that stuff. So that's how I would have gone with my 5.
All right, Nick, what is your 5?
All right. Well, I like the Dirk pick, even though I didn't pick Dirk, but defense is a team game, right? So you can cover up Dirk's weaknesses on the defensive end. But actually, me and Judge, hearing Judge talk, I think we were pretty similar in how we kind of broke this down. I actually didn't go with a traditional point guard. I think I was thinking like Judge, and I was thinking, how is everyone else going to pick? And if I had to run out a team against everyone else, that's kind of how I picked my team in a way. thinking about they're going to throw out an all-time 5. I need to be able to counteract that. So I actually started with LeBron at the 1. I'm going to skip the point guard. Lots of guys are ball handlers. Lots of guys are high IQ. So I was very close with Magic. Magic was the only point guard I thought about where his size and his physical ability could keep up with like another all-time 5. But I was very close with those two, and I ended up going with LeBron. I went Jordan at the 2, Kobe at the 3, and I went Bird at the 4. And then I figured I'm a little undersized in terms of, because I'm going to use Bird to stretch a little bit. And so I thought I just want the biggest, baddest guy in the middle, and I went with Wilt at the 5. So that was my 5 and how I was thinking of it. So I'm just kind of going pure athleticism and talent, and I want some guys who can at least stretch the floor a little bit. So I went LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, Bird, and Wilt.
All right. So my 5, mine is all based on the concept of trying to have a team that is based around a strong transition game, offense and defense, a fast break, and being able to guard everybody coming back. So my top 5, who I would place on my point guard position, I would put John Stockton at the point guard position. Now, he is not known for being the greatest transition guy. However, he's going to be my half-court point guard. He's my half-court point guard that run the pick and roll, and you'll see why later on. My number 2, Jordan. We don't got to go into that. Obviously, I think everyone has Jordan on their team. The guy who's going to be playing my small forward will be Magic Johnson. He's a Swiss Army knife. He could play big. He could play traditional guard. And he also, on the outlet passes, getting the rebounds. As I said on one of the last live streams, his greatest, full court bounce passer I've seen. And then also in transition, probably the best transition passer of all time also. At my 4, I'm going to have, I actually have 2 traditional centers. So these guys are interchangeable, but these guys are going to be playing the low post. Will be one of them being Bill Russell. Again, another great outlet passer. And like I said, my team is based off of the fast break and transition. And the guy that nobody said, and I think is kind of, I think I screwed this up. I think I don't know. I'll leave it at this. I'll give my honorable mention after this. That my 6th man, because I went back and forth. So I guess this is what I really think, because I thought about pulling this guy out and putting it on. But my 5th guy is going to be David Robinson, out of all people. Another guy who's got massive endurance, super athletic, big. And then the honorable mention that I was thinking about putting in and out was Giannis, because of, again, how good he's good on the fast break. And like I said, my team is based off of the fast break. So, and the thing similar with all these guys too is that they are all outstanding defenders. So I got great defense. And although David Robinson and Bill Russell are both left-handed, so they, generally speaking, would be playing in the same post position in the half court. I'm just saying that might be where their sweet spots are. I tried to look for Bill Russell's shot selection, couldn't find anything. But David Robinson liked to play in a certain spot. But for the half court, using the best pick and roll guy, arguably maestro of all time with John Stockton, there's always going to be one guy out setting screens, and then Magic and John Stockton can interchange in the half court. So that's my 5. We'll get into the trivia question first, and then we'll start with Robin's picks.
Detroit Pistons.
Correct. No, I'm just kidding. What team? Okay, if you're in the comments, please put your top 5. Who would you pick for top 5 all time? Also, we're going to be doing the trivia. If you'd like to participate in answering in the trivia questions, please put what you think is the answer down. And if you'd like to have the panel address you, you can put a super chat, and we will stop the show, and we'll have the panel, whoever you're asking the panel, they will answer the question. You got to say who you're asking, and then we can stop the show, and they can answer your question. Also, if you're a member, you're able to do that as well. But the first trivia question: who is the only team to defeat the Celtics at Madison or at Boston during the 1985-1986 season? What was the only team that beat Boston in the 86 season? You go first, Robin.
The Portland Trailblazers.
Robin says the Trailblazers. Judge, what do you say?
What's the year, bro? 86?
86.
The 85-86 season or 86-87?
85-86.
Who did you say,
Robin? I'll go
Portland Trailblazers.
I'll go Rockets.
It's a guess.
I'll go Rockets.
Trailblazers, Rockets. What do you say, Rex?
Sixers.
Sixers. OG, what do you say? You're the Celtics fan, so
I should know this, and that's what's so sickening that I can't think of it. So I'm just going to throw. For some reason, I want to think it was the Lakers, but it's either the Lakers or the Hawks. I can't remember. It's one of those two, but I'll stick with the Lakers.
All right, the Lakers. Nick.
I was gonna go Sixers too.
Sixers. All right. I'll let people go and answer in the chat for a second. Stephanie had guessed the 76ers. Ren had guessed the Lakers. If there's anybody else, to give you a second to go answer. However, somebody got it right on the panel. And the answer is the Portland Trailblazers.
Wow.
Oh, what's up, baby?
It's rigged. The fix is in.
What? Are you kidding me right now?
What is a Kevin Duck worth?
Let's go, baby.
All right.
Nice.
Yep. It's this comeback season. If you're in the comments, will Robin come back? Because he was number 45 apparently. I think he's putting 23 back on. Is he putting 23 back on? Is he going to win the trivia championship this week?
No comes back, bro.
But we're going to start with Robin. Robin, what about your team? If you want to explain a little bit more about your team, and then we'll open the panel for questions.
Yeah, well, I don't want to speak too much about the team, so we can, you guys can let me know what you think about it. But yeah, I mean, the main thing I think with that team that I had is, if you think about it, really only nobody needs the ball in their hands to score except Michael Jordan. So Michael Jordan is your scorer. No one else needs plays run for them to score. Scottie Pippen doesn't need me to run any plays for him to score. Hakeem Olajuwon doesn't need me to run plays for him to score. Magic Johnson, none of these guys need the ball in their hand to dominate the ball. Magic Johnson can facilitate the offense. He can run the offense. Could you imagine Magic Johnson, Scottie Pippen, and Michael Jordan running down the fast break with Charles Barkley as your trailer? I mean, my goodness. The athletic freak that Charles Barkley was, he would blend right in with these guys. So when I thought about making this team, you have defensive guys, you have leaders on this team, guys like a Michael Jordan. For me, when I pick Michael Jordan on my team, if you have Michael Jordan, if you don't have Michael Jordan, you have to have Michael Jordan, because he's the guy at the end of the day that always rose his game to a level that no one else did. When, Judge, you picked Kobe. You had Kobe on your 5, man. You can't have Kobe and Jordan. I couldn't put Kobe and Jordan on the team together. Nick, you had LeBron. I couldn't put LeBron on the team. LeBron can't play off the ball. He needs to have the ball in his hand. So who else is going to do anything? These guys are going to be standing around while LeBron is doing whatever he does out there. So with Michael Jordan, Magic, Scottie, all these guys, and like I said, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, they're dynamic together. To me, I feel like they're locking up anybody on the perimeter. Anybody on your perimeter is getting locked up between Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. There's no one else moving. There's nothing going on the perimeter.
All right, what do you guys have to say about anybody have to say about Robin's team? Anybody can go in any order.
I guess I'll go first. I get, like, if I had to nitpick, right, like, all these teams are great. I would think maybe against a bigger athletic team, it might struggle a little bit because no one's really stretching the floor that much. But that's my only nitpick is, like, if you ran into a big 4, 5, and 3 combo there, might struggle a little bit on the inside and rebounding. But that's really all I can say.
Anybody else have anything they want to say about Robin's team?
The only question that I have at all is the Scotty, but I'm not upset about the Scotty. You know, Scottie Pippen, a bad man. He's a bad man. I mean, if you know, dunks on Patrick Ewing, throws him to the ground. You know, he basically made it for Michael, in my opinion. You know, that's what put him over the hump, getting past the bad boy Pistons and stuff. So I'm not upset about the Scotty thing. That's just the only question mark that I really had, personally.
Okay.
Okay, I got things to say about your list, bro. Okay, first of all, to all the callers, to all the viewers, I don't want anybody to wet the bed because everybody here on our list, they're all legends. They're all they're all kings. But this is about to be family business, and we're about to talk about the family and who sits at the head table and who sits at the little kids table. Because in my family, when you're young, you go sit at the other table, right? Because we got multiple tables. You see what I'm saying? But I'm about to go in on the family right now. Brother, man, you got holes in your team, bro. You got holes like the ozone layer. You know what I mean? You got an ozone layer in your team, bro. Now, this list is not supposed to be the guys you like.
Oh, shit.
And I notice it's a guys who you like. Now, I'm going to pick apart your team. I don't know where other man is, but I'm going to ask him about, he said Magic, Curry, Bird, Dirk. I'll get back to him in a second. But, bro, here's where your team, I feel, has problems. Your team has a problem with Pippen, and your team has a problem with Charles Barkley. I'm going to explain to your team. So you guys are talking about transition. Anyone that played ball in university or circuit ball or coach, you know, how do you stop transition? You don't crash the offensive boards. Because when you crash offensive boards and you gamble, the athletes on the other team is out to the races. Okay, you're talking about Charles Barkley, cool. But bro, Charles Barkley is a problem on defense in the paint. He's a problem on defense on the perimeter. So if I have my team, I'm only going to talk about my own team. If I have my own team, I'm going to seal off Magic because Magic can shoot. I'm going to seal off. I'm going to use my big Wilt to push Dream out the paint, which he will. I'm going to use the correct term, Rex. Let me know if I'm wrong. I'm going to seal off Hakeem with Wilt, right? No one's sealing off Jordan. I got that. But I can seal off Pippen. So that means, for everyone who doesn't know, I'm going to set it up that only Pippen can catch the ball. And I'm going to use my length because my team is taller than yours. Only Barkley can catch the ball. I'm going to set up that Barkley only catches the ball on the perimeter. Now, it's hard. My problem with my team is this. I will admit, it's hard for me to seal off Chuck from getting into the paint because Barkley can push Garnett into the paint. But then once I have him there, I can put Wilt on him, or I have the ultimate help defender in Garnett. So either way, even if you do push Garnett into the paint, which you will, Wilt Chamberlain is right there behind me. And Garnett is 7 feet tall. You're 6'5". I'ma block you. I have the defensive instincts. Now, Scottie Pippen, transitional player, yes. I want Scottie Pippen just shooting the ball. So with Pippen, your forwards are not going to help you on offense with my team. I'm sealing off your guys, and I'm going to make Chuck shoot, or I'll dare Chuck to come in. And God, I have Wilt Chamberlain, and I have Curry, and I have and then Magic and Jordan. That's that. You know what I mean? So that's the problem with your team that I see on the offensive end. On offense, and then on defense, Chuck's not going to play with KG on the post. And Pippen, I'm not afraid of Pippen on offense, especially when I got Michael Jordan. I got Kobe Bryant to D him up, and we all saw what Kobe did to Pippen. And then if Pippen ever starts to get too hot, I'll put Magic Johnson on him and just put a hand in his face, and that's that. You know what I mean? That's what I say.
Ruthless.
All right. Do you want to respond to that, Robin, or you just want to hear what I have to say? And you want
I'm ready this week. I'm ready, guys. I'm ready for everybody.
No, he made his points. You know, he made some good points about how his team would stack up against my team. However, we must remember, I did not make this team based off of who his team was. So that's one thing we have to keep in mind. This is a team based off who I would have in my starting five, who I think would be able to go out there and perform at a certain level. That's number one. Number two, when we think about the team that I had, I'm putting the stock in Michael Jordan. And what I'm talking about in Michael Jordan is not necessarily on the court. When we're talking about a Scottie Pippen, OG, you said that you mentioned Scottie Pippen was the only maybe problem that you would have had about my list. I was thinking about it in terms, just like Rex thought about it. He has Magic and Kareem for the dynamic between them. That was the same reason that I selected Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. It's about the dynamic between them, the chemistry between them on the defensive end, them feeding off each other, playing off each other, and Michael Jordan's his ability to raise everyone else around him, the way that he lifts everyone. So someone like a Charles Barkley, we're basing this off of Charles Barkley's career because to me, Charles Barkley kind of underachieved. He kind of let himself go towards the tail end of his career. He didn't keep himself in great shape. Playing with Michael Jordan elevates that aspect of Charles Barkley where he stays at his peak longer. And maybe people perceive Charles Barkley as maybe a little bit greater than he really was. Because when we're talking about defense and you're saying he wasn't that great of a defensive player, when we think about Charles Barkley, yeah, maybe not. But like I said, when you look at Charles Barkley's game and you watch the film for that 5, 6, 7 years, when we're talking about this man was blocking shots and stealing the ball at a pretty decent level for someone that it was his height because of his athleticism, his ability to leap up and stealing the ball and get these blocks. You're talking about Wilt Chamberlain. What can I say about Wilt Chamberlain? What am I going to deny about Wilt Chamberlain? He's going to do his thing. However, at the end of the day, Michael Jordan is going to elevate his team, and he's going to be the X factor on any team. It's going to be Michael Jordan. He's the X factor.
Yeah, but we all got Jordan except, wait a minute, did Rex put Jordan on his team?
No.
Of course he didn't.
So we all got Jordan negating Jordan. We got a cancel right there. I'm guessing on your squad, you're gonna make Scottie Pippen D up Magic Johnson on my team. Because that's the only two people on my team he's gonna D up.
That was the thing, Judge. You guys said you wanted to talk about today's rules. And that's the thing about if we're playing today's NBA or whatever we want to call it, Scottie Pippen is going to be even that much more at a value because everything's on the perimeter now. If the game is more perimeter oriented, a guy like Scottie Pippen, he would be loving this right now, contesting three-point shooters all game. That's what he lives for. He doesn't want to go down the post. So his value is maximized more. And like I said, playing with Jordan on the perimeter, them together, understanding each other. These guys would be half-court trapping guys. They would be full-court pressing. Who's bringing the ball up? And when you talk about Kobe, we must remember Kobe and Michael Jordan on the court together. Kobe Bryant's not allowing Michael Jordan to be the alpha on that team. That's the dynamic we're underestimating with Kobe on that team, man. They're going to be like, yo, Kobe, man, take a sideshow to Mike. And Kobe's going to be like, nah, I got this, man. I'm going to be the finals MVP this year, Mike. It's not going to be you. Come on, man. Someone's got to trade Jordan. I could win without Jordan. I could do it. And no one's knocking Kobe for that. That's the greatness of Kobe. But Kobe can't be the Pippen to Michael Jordan. He can't do it.
That's not going to happen, brother, because, first of all, Kobe Bryant, for those who know, in the triangle offense, Kobe admitted himself, he played the 3 for a lot of his career. He could play the wing, either wing. He's so smart, he knows how to play the wing. Second of all, we need to stop this narrative that Kobe couldn't play with a great player. Because even Kobe said Mike's greater than him. And Kobe's one of the most humblest superstars. He never puts himself in the list with the greatest players. He's let other people do that. He has reverence, not like a Steph Curry, not like LeBron James. And third of all, Kobe Bryant played with Shaquille O'Neal, and he won 3 rings. He played with Paul Gasol. So we've seen a humongous sample size. Real quick. We have a humongous sample size of Kobe playing with superstars and with playing championship systems and calming himself down. It's not like when he was playing with those scrubs in 05 when he's like, give me the ball. When Kobe knows, he plays with people, so I don't think so.
No. Listen, real quick, and we can stop. But you know, all I'm saying, Judge, you're right. All I'm saying about Kobe, I'm giving Kobe his props. What I'm saying is that Kobe would want to be like, you know what? I'm not playing with Mike. I'm going on the other team. Give me 4 other guys, and we're going to run against Mike and his 4. That's what Kobe was saying. That's what I'm saying.
Kobe the cancer of the team. You're going to bring down the team.
He's going to want to run his 5.
Wait. You're talking about number 8. I'm talking about 24. 24 would be cool. All right,
I respect that.
You're talking about the afro.
I respect that.
Right? All right.
All right, for me with Robin for your team, I like that you brought in Charles Barkley specifically because I think he was able to do a lot. He was able to shoot threes. He was able to back people down. They made the rule to the back down rule because of him, and I think that's an interesting pick. I like it a lot. I mean, I won't go full on comparison with my team like Judge did. I think my team could outrun yours, and I think my team is just as or more defensive. I think. We both have Magic and MJ, so let's just cancel them out. I mean, just for layman's, obviously it's a lot more complicated than this, but I think David Robinson, John Stockton, and Bill Russell are better at defense and are better transition players than Scottie Pippen, Charles, and Hakeem. But I mean, obviously, who can hate on any of our lists because we're picking the best players of all time. And my whole argument is that my team is going to be able to outrun everyone else's team, and they're all really great skilled players, can all play defense. And I know that Biggie Small was talking about Bill Russell only shot 47%, the highest of his career. Rex has brought this up multiple times. The ball was bigger, the rim was different.
It just proves his casual status. Anytime first thing someone throws out about Bill Russell is his shooting percentage, it means they have not researched. They know nothing about the history of the game, the history of the man, or the history of the league.
Exactly.
Right. What was the league shooting average at that time? That's what the callers got to understand.
Because of the conditions. I'd say it all the time. You take James Harden, you put him in Chuck Taylor's, you have him playing with a 1950s ball, shooting on a 1950s basket, dribbling on a 1950s hardwood court. He's shooting 38%.
Yep. And just to chime in a little bit, because I saw that comment as well, and like that, like why I chose Bill Russell in mine. I know I'm kind of skipping ahead a little bit. I'm not worried about Bill Russell shooting 47%. I just want him locking down that middle or whatever, getting the rebound and throwing it. I don't care if he doesn't score.
Well, in Russell's day, an offensive tip was considered a shot attempt.
Exactly.
Now it's not.
Right.
If you just tip it and don't control the ball first, it's not counted as a shot attempt. Back then it was. If you tip the ball, like remember when Rodman would always tip, and grab it?
Yep.
Okay, well, back in Russell's day, if you're on the offense and you're doing that offensive tip and you tip it up to the backboard and then grab it off the backboard, that's a shot attempt.
Right.
They changed that. Basically because of Moses Malone.
Yep.
Dart, I think Robin's putting you to sleep because we all saw what Dream did to Robinson. Like, the Dream threw the Robinson overboard the ship. We saw that. As a matter of fact, they got highlights of this guy looking stupid. So that's a wash right there.
But it's not a one-on-one game. It's a 5-on-5 game. And he's using Robinson as a complementary player, not as his main guy.
And
Right, but there's a
and
hole.
also Robinson, when he got abused by Akeem, his help was at best Otis Thorpe, and if not him, Scott Peterson. Okay, he's coming with Bill Russell to double team Akeem. So just stop with the Akeem talk because he's getting.
So you don't think there's a hole
by Bill Russell and David Robinson?
I don't think there's a hole.
So it's going to come down to matchups. It's going to come down to matchups. You don't see a hole right there, like you don't think Stockton.
It's not every matchup. You choose
right? No, but we all said we're going to make
exploit or pressure.
Russell can guard Hakeem instead of Robinson.
Something you said real quick. You had mentioned the two left-handers. Okay, yeah. Russell in Boston's offense did not play low post. He played the high post.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying.
And David Robinson would not be an issue because Robinson always played the low right.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm willing to concede now because your team has a Osborne Park yellow jacket on it, so you're going to win.
Okay, now what about John Stockton? I see John Stockton getting his food eaten like.
I think that's
a problem
too. I think we need to let Judge run his list. He's hyped for this right now, man. I think everybody's let Judge run his list right now, and we can comment off Judge's list. Let him do his thing. He's hyped.
I like to talk about y'all list. I like to talk about y'all list.
Yeah, but y'all forgot that Dart is going to come in off the bench with Draymond, and that's going to end everything. He's going to lock down everybody.
Draymond's coach too.
Yep, and as the player coach. But let's transition into the next trivia question real fast, and then we'll get the Judge. And if you want to call people out first, Judge, that's fine. And then we'll have everybody go into the list. Okay, so the next question is, who was the player before Klay Thompson who had the record for most points in a quarter? Who was the player before Klay Thompson? Starting with Judge and going around the same order we were going. Who was the player who had the record for most points scored in a quarter before Klay Thompson? If you're in the comments, please go and answer your question. If you've just come, please put your top 5 players that you would put on a team to beat any team in NBA history. Put it in the chat. And if you'd like to ask a panel a question, please super chat. We'll stop the panel and whoever you ask to answer the question, they will answer the question. But again, the question is, who is the individual who had the scoring record for most points in a quarter before Klay Thompson? Starting with you, Judge.
I'm not saying Kobe Bryant, not saying Michael Jordan. I'm saying somebody that's not on today's list. It's a tie. It's between two guys. It's either a tie or it's him. I'm gonna go Carmelo.
Carmelo Anthony.
I'm gonna go Carmelo.
All right. Rex, who do you say it is?
Gervin.
George Gervin, the Iceman. What do you say, OG?
I like Carmelo. I like that answer. I'm gonna go with Carmelo.
I'm gonna go Wilt.
Wilt, that's a good answer. Robin, what do you say?
Go Fat Lever.
Ooh.
Fat Lever.
Alrighty.
I think it's Carmelo or Iceman, one of the two. I think it's Carmelo.
Gervin at one time had it at 33.
Yeah.
All right. We'll let the audience ask or put their answer in the comments. Give them a second.
The hawk sound kills me.
Love that.
And somebody got a correct answer. The answer is George the Iceman Gervin.
Freak.
That record was held for quite some time until 2015.
Yep.
I knew it was one of those two guys. It was Carmelo or Iceman. I couldn't decide. Yeah. Nice, Rex.
Yeah. For people paying attention, it's a tie right now between Robin and Rex for leading the trivia championship this week.
I'm coming for you, Rex.
I I ain't running. Actually, I might be running because my battery died on my phone. I had to switch to my daughter's computer, and it's at 14%. So I got to try and figure something out here.
All
Let's
right.
get Rex.
You gotta get one of these, bro. You gotta get one of these things right here. You
I
gotta
can't
do what
find
I do.
it.
Like,
I can't.
boom.
I was looking for it when my picture went out. That's what I was doing. I don't know where they keep the. I'm never on the laptop. I don't. This is the only time I've been on the laptop doing these shows since I went to like school a couple years ago. I don't even know where the charger is.
All right, Judge, it's your turn to briefly explain your list. I know you did a little bit in the front end. If you want to talk more about it,
A little bit.
I'm going to listen. I'm going to look for that charger.
Okay.
But I'm listening, Judge. I'm listening.
Yeah, real quick. Like, so the point I said, we're all gonna make an unbeatable team, but then I feel my unbeatable team will beat everybody else's unbeatable team. I think Knicks is interesting to me, though. Knicks is kind of interesting to me, but as I was saying before, I have Magic Johnson, I have Michael Jordan. Okay, now the whole thing about Kobe Bryant and Jordan, I want to say this really quick. They're perimeter players, and what weaknesses do they have on the perimeter? Athletically, they got the first step, especially Jordan. They got the mid-range. They can bring you all out. They got a barrage of moves on the perimeter. They don't have any perimeter weaknesses. They're all excellent passers, whether it's passing, playmaking into the post. They can do pump fakes, a pass out of a pump fake. They can do passing out the fly. For passing and shooting, they have no equals on the perimeter. And they both know how to play with each other in triangle offense. So they both won titles in the triangle. The triangle is big guards. You don't need a point guard. And of course, it's not a triangle team, but I'm just trying to show you as an example. The reason why the triangle worked is because of the skill set of the guys involved. That's why Jackson likes certain kind of guys whose skill sets can work well in a championship system like the triangle. So I like my two wings. You can throw alley hoops, they'll dunk on you, they'll dribble out the gym, everything. Magic Johnson, I don't got to talk about Magic Johnson running on the break. He's got one of the best floaters in the league. He can even hit the three, especially when he shot like 38% one year. He's like money at the line. He's super clutch. And guess what? He can go in the paint. He can pass out. I don't got to talk about those guys. Now, here's what I want people to understand about Kevin Garnett. Why I took Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett is not the best power forward I ever seen. But on an ultimate team, I feel he's the best guy because you need a guy like a Pippen or a Garnett who can float around, be here, be there, be everywhere, and everywhere he is excellent. You cannot outsmart him. You cannot fool him. He'll block you. He'll steal from you. He's got the intangibles. He's a little bit crazy. He's 7 feet tall with barefoot. He's super long. And if he's not blocking your shot, he's contesting your shot. Another thing is, for the modern rules, why he's perfect is he's like a Draymond Green in the sense where I can cover the bigs. Oh, you're running a switch, you're running a pick and roll. I can cover your point guard. He can cover 5 positions and cover 5 positions well, especially a forward position. So I had to take him over Larry Bird. Now, don't wet the bed, people. I thought about Hakeem Olajuwon, but he doesn't have the foot speed laterally on defense compared to Kevin Garnett because he's 250. KG was around 230. That's why I took KG. And also, he complements my 5. Now, when I have Wilt, I don't need to say no more. Wilt Chamberlain is Mumbata. For you guys don't know who Mumbata is, go do your homework to figure out who Mumbata is. This guy's gonna shut down everybody from Kareem to the Admiral to Russell's not gonna score on him. No one's gonna score on him. So I think my team is the most unbeatable team out of all the unbeatable teams.
I think it's close, but not quite.
Okay, why? Tell me why.
My team's the best team.
Yeah.
Where's my holes? Where's my holes, bro? with your team, where's my holes and where's my holes?
The only thing that I think with my team going versus your team, I think Russell can be able to keep track of Akeem. I do think that because Russell was able.
I don't have Hakeem on my team.
Yeah, he's got Wilt.
Oh, well.
Who was your? I got for you. I got Magic, Jordan, Duncan, Russell, and who?
What's that?
On your team, I got Magic, Jordan, Tim Duncan, Bill Russell, and who was your fifth guy?
Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we know that Russell was able to best Wilt a lot in there, and they kind of crisscrossed a little bit or whatever. Tim Duncan was able. I think Tim Duncan could be able to keep track of Kevin Garnett. Larry Bird, I think, he kind of speaks for himself. And with Michael and Magic, I think we could keep track of, if it was a 7-game series, I have a feeling that my team and your team is going to go down to that 7th game.
Russell's never lost a 7th game.
What's that?
Yeah, well, he's got a stacked team. Russell got a stacked team. I think you got a point with Bird, bro. He's 6'9", 6'10" on Kobe.
Right.
I think that might be a problem. Kobe has a little bit with the big forwards. I think that would be a problem there. But you're saying something about Russell and all that kind of stuff. Kevin Garnett's going to be on my perimeter, though. So unless Russell's in the paint, I don't really. Maybe you see it. I didn't really see that.
Yeah, that's why it's going to go down. It's going to be a 7-game series, and it's going to come down to the.
It'll be an X's and O's decision, really. It sounds like.
Yep, absolutely.
I like your front court, though. Your front court is big time. Your front court is super, bro.
Yeah.
Can't lie. Your front court's serious.
Yeah, I think
real serious.
I think my team matching up's a little interesting because we have 3 of the same players: Wilt, Kobe, and MJ. So I would think I probably got to put LeBron on Magic, and I'm just telling him to let him shoot. Don't let him get in the paint. Don't let him distribute. And then that leads Bird to guard Garnett. That one, I think Bird can do okay on Garnett. If Garnett maybe pulls him out to the perimeter, I don't. Bird might struggle a little bit, but I think Bird could hold his own against Garnett. And
but he also has Bill Russell, who's the greatest help defender in history. So that was what he did.
Yeah.
So Bird's never going to be isolated.
Yeah, and the thing about the Wilt and Russell matchup is yes, Russell won, but their numbers against each other, Wilt essentially won every category.
Oh yeah.
For what it's worth,
the
right?
only one that counted.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think our team would be interesting. I think it largely would come down to LeBron and Magic, who wins. I would tell LeBron to sag a little bit off of Magic. Just don't let him get into the post and distribute and wreak havoc that way. Make him shoot that 3. Yeah. If he's hitting it, then...
Yeah, make him make his decision outside of 18 feet.
Yeah, maybe if Magic's on and hitting 3s, then I might be cooked. But I don't think Magic's going to do that over a 7-game series.
And with the team that he has, I don't know if Magic would consider that to be the best offensive idea. I think he would limit himself.
Yeah.
On that, knowing that that's not his strong point, he would go to the other player's strong point if he couldn't get his strong point, which is backing down and passing over the top.
And when we do these, a lot of people are kind of how would MJ and Kobe both be ball dominant? And I think in this argument, theoretically, we would have to kind of say that these guys would figure it out, right? These guys are all winners. Yeah. I kind of just, that's sort of getting into a too hypothetical for me. I would think that Kobe and Michael would figure out hey, what do we each need to do in what scenarios and situations, and how are we what's the best thing we can do to win?
Where's the track record to support that statement that you just said?
Well,
They're both off ball
Kobe always
players.
had to be the
Both
guy,
off
right?
ball.
Like they
You
both
can't say-
always had to be
No,
the guy,
what
but
you're saying there is you're talking about hypothetical. It's not hypothetical if I say that I don't believe that Michael Jordan and Kobe would be together on the same team and get along, because Kobe never showed that he would be able to do that. So if I'm saying that, what I'm basing it off of is his track record. When I picked the Michael Jordan Pippen dynamic, that's what I'm saying. They were able to feed off each other and play off each other and be successful. Kobe and Shaq were successful to a point, and then why did it end? Because Kobe, that's not a negative on Kobe Bryant. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm just saying he wants to be the man. He wants to have his own team and run against Michael Jordan's fight. That's all I'm saying. So I don't think that, like, you might be right, Nick. I get that. Yeah, we could say they could play together and things like that. But where's the evidence to show that Kobe would be willing to be like, hey, I'm going to be second to Mike today, and I'm going to take 12 shots. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to take 22 or 20 or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that conversation would happen if you've got Magic there. Because
yeah, but who's Magic passing the ball to?
Yeah, Magic's the one
both
with the
of
ball.
them can't get the
Magic
ball.
is the one that will decide which one gets the
listen,
ball.
this is the thing. At the end of the game, right, and you need one basket, who's going to get the ball?
I thought about that on my team.
Right. So at the end of the game, if they were to pick Michael Jordan, for example, and say, you think it's not going to burn Kobe? That would burn him inside, not as a negative, because of his competitive nature inside. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to think about it that way. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the game,
He would defer to Jordan, bro. He would only Kobe's not deferring to anybody except Michael Jordan.
I'll believe that.
I wanted to say with Judge, your team, you had MJ, Magic, Kobe, Wilt, Garnett. You said that, well, you're talking about Hakeem and, Robinson earlier like that. But I think for me, the reason why I think my team would beat your team, we both got MJ and Magic, but I would have Magic playing the 3. And he would be the So again, let me just reiterate for my team, we're all based on transition. I have this, in my opinion, I got the strongest transition team by far, and that's where you get the easy points. So that's why I went with that. Like Rex was saying, I'd seen the highlights of Bill Russell, and he's always taking those shots by the free throw line on the left side, and looking at the shot chart for Robinson, it's mostly down on the block. So I tried to pick players that have their own positions in the thing. I picked John Stockton because he wasn't as great, although he had a really high motor. These other guys could run a lot faster than him, but he could sag back. And for all those guys trying to get those layups, he has the most steals in NBA history. So he's going to be able to swipe them. He's going to be able to stop them. And on offense, playing in the pick and roll, I mean, with Gary Payton, he said John Stockton was the hardest guy he ever guarded. So I think my guys, if we're going to talk about one-on-one stuff, I think Wilt. Well, for one, Wilt ain't going to play. He's got one of the worst attitudes in NBA history. He ain't going to run.
I actually saw that live in person. Yeah, he complained constantly.
There's a little truth to that.
And he also isn't going to run. He's going to get outran by the whole team. He's going to complain.
Okay, now wait a second. Now you're doing what casuals always do with Kareem, is they always picture mid-'80s Kareem when he was 38 years old and not 25-year-old Kareem. You're looking at Laker Wilt after the knee surgery and not young Wilt that used to beat point guards down the court.
No. I said I'm not saying he can't run. I know he can run. I'm saying will he run? And
no, he ran like
with Magic
crazy.
Johnson passing the ball, he's gonna run.
He used all of his athletic tools when he was younger. He loved showing off. He loved proving he was faster, better, stronger. Ego, man. It was all ego. And I think in the end, talking about having Kobe and Mike together, I think that's one thing that if it actually got to the point that it started to disrupt the team, they both would be like, look, if we F this up, man, this is going on both of our records. So we gotta straighten it out.
Yeah,
so
I'm kind of assuming like
that.
We're getting the best of these guys, right? Just to kind of make it an easier argument. But yeah, there's definitely truth to like egos.
Yeah, we're assuming everybody's at 100% health,
like
at their peak of their game,
and
all joined together. So it's technically it would be better
it's
than
not
the dream
just the egos,
team.
though. It's also the actual game. Kobe and Michael
The
Jordan's
styles,
game is
yeah.
it's so identical. You have to think about that also on the court. We have to remember these things.
Yeah. Well, that's
No,
why
but you're
Houston didn't work
you're
when they
talking like
got Barkley, because Barkley and Akeem played the same position offensively. So Barkley had to move out. Okay, well now he's in Drexler's area. And that's why it didn't him going to Houston didn't work, because his two spots were Drexler and Akeem's spots. So he was kind of floundering in their system.
Yeah, listen, it's not like LeBron James and Dwayne Wade where neither of them can shoot. Michael and Kobe can both shoot. They're both great off-ball players. Why do you think Pippen was able to facilitate? Because Michael could play off-ball. Once you guys got Klay Thompson, Reggie Miller, these guys are off-ball players. So I don't know where that narrative is coming from. And Kobe won multiple rings with Shaq, and he deferred to all kind of people. And like, I don't think that would be a problem.
What narrative are you talking about, Judge? What narrative are you talking about?
I don't want to hear the narrative that Kobe wouldn't get along with Michael Jordan. I don't think that would ever happen. It's the only player he has reverence for. As a matter of fact, he said he grew up idolizing Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan. And
you don't
he
need
would
two
defer to
Michael
them.
Jordans on the same team. We got one Michael Jordan. We need one Michael Jordan in a team. All right, Kobe can have his own team on Team B. All right, Team A is Michael Jordan.
Okay, and Dart for you, I don't think you can step up to my team, bro, because you're talking about transition, and you have the slowest, most unathletic guy on the whole panel right now in John Stockton, who doesn't run it. He's not a transitional point guard. So I don't know how you're going to run transition with Magic and how you're going to run it with John Stockton. You need a transitional point guard. Half-court point guard, yeah, I like that because he can shoot, but he can't run. And guess what? He's also the shortest guy. He's going to get dunked on. So I think you're automatically out. And I already told you, like, Wilt is going to eat him, and Wilt's going to eat Bill. Wilt's going to eat Robinson. Like, I'm just sorry, brother. That's just how I like your team, though. I really, really do.
Well, one thing that no one's mentioned, I really thought one of y'all that picked Wilt was going to mention, was if Jordan or Kobe tried going to the hole, what was going to happen? Because Wilt said it straight out that he would put them on their butt. End of story.
Yep, put him through.
You got that.
Scared.
He's on my team.
He's
on my team, though. He's on my team.
Yeah, but other people have picked Jordan as well. And I just thought somebody would have brought up that quote, is all I'm saying.
So we're going to transition to the next team with Rex, and we can continue this conversation as well if we want to keep with that.
Okay.
And I didn't mention this. I should have mentioned this before. I'm going to put up a poll for the audience. Please vote on whose team you think is the best team. And then we'll see whose team actually is the best team.
Well, I'm coming in last because nobody in the chat likes me, so I'm coming in last no matter who I pick.
You got the all defensive team, so you're good, bro.
No, I got the all offensive team because he specifically said today's rules. No one really took that into major consideration except me.
I did.
Rex,
I did.
Rex,
man.
They still have Defensive Player of the Year award. They're still giving out the Defensive Player of the Year award. He mentioned Draymond Green and Kawhi Leonard and Jared Jackson Jr. Defense is still in the game, brother.
Yeah, I still can't believe Jared Jackson's son's in the NBA. For any of you that watched Jared Jackson at Georgetown, that was the fact that guy made it to the NBA. Was him and Vinny Del Negro are the two biggest, oh my gosh, guys that made it to the NBA. If you watch
Vinny Del Negro, I loved him, man.
Let's get to the next trivia question. If you're in the comments, please answer who you think is what the answer is. Also, if you're just coming in, put your top 5 team that you could put together to win all time. This question is, and it'll be starting with Rex. Who were the 2 teams that played in the first NBA game? Who were the 2 teams that played in the first NBA game?
What's bad is I actually know when it was played, where it was played, players in the game. I can't remember the second team. My gosh. It was played in Toronto, Knicks and my God, I can't even think. Syracuse. I don't know.
Damn it,
All
Rex.
right.
Damn you, Rex.
I know.
Toronto.
Come on, man.
And Syracuse. Garfield. OG
No,
Garfield.
he said Knicks and Syracuse.
Yeah, I missed it.
Oh, sorry. Knicks
said-
and Syracuse. My bad. I heard Toronto first.
They played in Toronto.
Okay.
First NBA game was played in Toronto. Honor James Naismith, who was Canadian.
Okay. OG.
So
what do you
is
think the answer is?
actual NBA, or was that when it was still the BAA?
I have it as the question listed as the NBA. So it may be if you
Okay.
if you
You might have an issue there.
Right.
But this is how the question is listed.
Okay.
So, yeah. So if you can challenge me and it's right, then we'll go from there. But as of now, this is it. Without giving the answer away. So who do you think it is, OG?
I'll just go a little different and
but I believe it's the NBA.
right. I'll just say like Sixers, and I like Syracuse as well.
OG?
Yeah.
The Sixers are Syracuse. The Syracuse Nationals moved into Philadelphia and became the Sixers after the Warriors went out west. That's the same team.
Okay.
They played each other.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Then we'll say Syracuse, and I'll go Syracuse and Knicks also. Yeah.
No Rochester.
Rochester. Yeah. Okay. I'll go Rochester. Syracuse.
All right.
Rochester is now Sacramento.
Right. Yep. I did know that.
I'm gonna go Minneapolis Lakers and Syracuse.
Mm.
All right. Robin, who do you say?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go with the Knicks and the I'm gonna go with the Knicks, and I guess I'll go with the Knicks and the Lakers, the Minneapolis Lakers.
All right. If anyone is wanting to answer in the chat, I just see Basic Training saying the Huskies by itself.
I'm going Toronto and New York.
Yeah.
Toronto and New York.
Toronto and New York. All right. I forgot, Judge. I thought I was doing a clock, so my bad. I didn't mean to skip over you.
Toronto and New York.
Yeah. All right. If anybody else wants to answer.
Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch.
Who's doing that?
Oh, was that me? Y'all heard that?
That was awesome.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That's when someone subs in my channel.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just don't want the the limited cursing. So
I didn't know you would hear that. To be honest with you.
Okay, no worries. A member Stephanie says Knicks and Huskies actually had as a trivia question not long ago, and somebody got the answer correct. And the answer is New York and Toronto.
I know that question.
Huskies.
I told
Toronto
you I
Huskies.
couldn't remember the name of the Toronto team. So
How did you, bro?
Syracuse.
How did you not get that right? I knew it the whole time. I've always known that. How did you not know that one?
I had a brain cramp. I could not remember the name of the Toronto team. It just totally left my
The
mind.
Huskies,
I could
then.
not think of it.
Welcome to
But
Thunderdome, bitch.
1946, right?
That's still showing there.
And the
Yeah, okay, I'm
bonus
trying to turn it
question
off.
is for that, when the Raptors got a team in '94, they had a poll to determine what would be the name of the team. Raptors was one of the, but it was also Huskies, because people are saying, are we going to go back and call it the original
Yeah, the
team?
original.
But they went with Raptors because Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But was the date of that 46? Because then they're including the BAA years. Because legally, what happened when the NBA came about, they legally did it as the BAA and the NBL merged, and they kept the BAA statistics in retrospect as the first 3 years of the NBA. The actual first NBA game was in 1950. But if you go to the website and you look back at the old a lot of the records and a lot of the information about the original days, they'll include 47, 48, and 49, which actually was pre-NBA, but because of the legalities of the merger, it was included. So that's where the discrepancy comes in.
All right, Rex. Let's talk about your team. You got anything to say about your team before people go on the panel?
I actually wanted to ask Judge something unrelated, but I'll hold off on that. I'm sorry, I can't. If Bill Russell played on a stacked team, and that's why he was 10-0 in Game 7s, if he was on such a stacked team, why did he have 10 Game 7s? That, by definition, is not stacked. That's almost losing.
Thank you.
I don't get how many Game 7s Jordan have. So that means the Bulls were a stacked team.
No, it's all about who are you playing with. Who are you playing against?
What's the name of the channel?
It's all about who you're playing against, right?
No,
that's why I said.
You said that Russell had a stacked team.
He did have a stacked team.
10-0 in
he
Game
did have
7s.
a stacked
You
team.
said but he had a stacked team. Well, if he had such a stacked team, why was he in 10 Game 7s?
No, you cannot provide reverse onus until you show onus. Did he not have a stacked team at the time?
Every team was stacked because there's only 80 players.
Yep. And
which was the most stacked team? So you're trying to tell me that Wilt Chamberlain's team had the
Wilt
talent?
Chamberlain played with more top 75 players than Bill Russell did. That's a fact.
No, that's not what we're asking you. I'm asking you,
what makes up the team? Players.
Was Wilt's team just as talented as Bill's team, or was Bill's more talented?
Well, you can't. But once again, you're talking about the onus and reverse. Okay, well, your go-to is going to say, well, Bill Russell won, so that meant he had the more talented team.
No, I'm asking you a
Russell's
question.
Team more talented in '69 than the Lakers?
You can't answer a question with a question.
Baylor and Wilt. That was
when
the
he was
biggest
old
upset in American sports history until the 1980 Olympic hockey team.
And didn't Wilt retire shortly after that? So he was at the end. He was at the twilight of his career, right? When Wilt was in his prime, was Wilt playing with Jerry West?
No, but it wasn't. He retired in '73. This happened in '69. Bill Russell retired at the end of the game. So
no. When Wilt, I'm asking you, when Wilt played in LA in the early '70s with Jerry and them, wasn't that not
okay? But you're talking
that's not what I'm only asking you a question. Wasn't that not near the end of his career?
That was after his knee injury. Yes.
You mentioned something before. You said people like to talk about Kareem in the '80s, Kareem with Magic. They don't want to talk about Lou Alcindor. They don't want to talk about Kareem in 1972, 1973, when he was a monster of all monsters. So why don't we show Wilt that same respect and say, when Wilt was in his apex, was he also playing with other apex predators? And the answer is no. If he did, it would have been an interesting situation.
Okay, well, he did. He would never had the coach. The two times in his career that Wilt had a coach.
Paul Hamlin. What about Hamlin? So when did he have Hamlin? When did he have Hamlin?
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. All right.
Let's go back
to when he had Hamlin, who was he playing with? When he's coached by Hamlin? That's what I'm trying to say, bro. I understand Bill got it done, but that's why Oscar Robertson is known, because free agency was not a thing back in the 60s.
Yeah.
After player movement came around and the league expanded, it was different. But
okay. So answer my question.
And Boston had all the guys.
10 Game 7s, a stacked team.
I don't know. You tell me. You were there.
Because it's not.
Let's get back to
the list. I got Magic, Steph, Bird, Dirk, and Kareem. And once again, because of the modern rules, I would not have had this if we had gone, because we had talked in the emails. Robin had mentioned we should go by 90s rules. If we went by 90s rules, I wouldn't have Dirk or Steph. I would have had Jordan and Barkley. But we're going by modern today's rules, where the three is the thing. And defenders can't touch offensive players. So I went with Magic because he's Magic. Everyone has already said that. I went with Steph because he's the player that epitomizes this era of basketball. If you got Steph, and then on the defensive end, you're going to say, okay, well, Steph is probably going to be guarded by who? According to most everyone's teams, he'll be guarded by Kobe or Jordan. Okay. Well, how much disruption is Jordan going to do on the defensive end if he's having to stand 25 feet from the basket because he can't leave Steph open? So he's not getting in the passing lanes. He's not getting the block on Ewing down low on the turnaround baseline. He's not doing those plays because he's having to stay out at the three-point line on Steph, or Steph's going to just run wild. So he has to stay on Steph. So now you're clearing up the middle for Magic, where you're going to have Kareem down low. If he gets doubled, he's going to kick to Dirk, or he's going to go cross-court to Bird. That's what I'm looking at. Now, is my team defensively weak? Yes, it is. I admit that, but I do have defensive rebounding. I have 3 players that all averaged over 10 rebounds a game, and then Magic was close. So I got defensive rebounding. So you may get the shot you want on offense, but it's going to be up to whether you make it or not, because you're not getting defensive rebounds. You're going to get your shot because, yes, my defenders are mainly slow of foot. So I'm going to be weak against one-on-one offensive play. But if you have to resort to one-on-one offensive play to beat my team, then you are no longer performing as a team. You're cutting out 4 of your great players every offensive possession. So that's how I looked at that. If it came down to a last-second shot, I admit it would depend. It would depend on which team, who we're playing against. It would either go to Kareem, purely because Skyhook, obviously. If not, then we're going Bird. And that's how I picked my team. And then just as a throw-in, like I said, I made a playground team. My all-time playground team would be Magic, Jordan, Doc, Barkley, and Wilt. And they're showing up, they're getting next, and they're playing until they turn the lights off, because ain't no one beating them on the playground. Young Doc, young Wilt, prime Barkley, prime Jordan, and then Magic at any age. That's not losing on a playground.
All right, what do you all have to say about Rex's team?
I'll chime in real quick. I respect those choices, but if you can use today's rules, the only thing that I would say with that they didn't have back then, they can play zone now. So you can be able to space the defense a little bit so Michael doesn't have to try and run all around constantly.
But that's why I got Kareem with that sky hook.
Yep. And see, that is a killer right there, that sky hook is. But, to keep track of, Steph and all that, you can be able to pass him off to the others, a little bit with that zone and switching defense or whatever. The Kareem one, though, that's a scary, because if you do prime, 72 Kareem.
I was figuring 74, 75 before he broke his hand.
Right. Yeah. You do that that's a scary, my Bill Russell, I don't think, because see, that was one of the fortunate things also, whatever we never ever got to see is Bill Russell and Kareem match up, because he was able to match up good against Wilt, but we never saw him match up against Kareem.
That was a gossip going on at the time, that one of the reasons he decided to hang it up was because Alcindor was coming in the next year. But I don't think so, because he actually announced his retirement at the end of Game 7 at the trophy presentation in '69. Kareem had yet to sign with or be drafted even by an NBA or ABA team. There was a lot of discussion that he was going to go to the ABA because the New York Nets had the first pick.
Right.
And he's from New York, so they really thought Kareem was going to the ABA. That's why the NBA didn't put a lot of emphasis on getting him to an established team. And unlike every other iconic player, he went to an expansion team, which the NBA would never allow today.
No.
They would rig it whatever way possible to make sure a guy that's so obvious to be a star was going to a brand new team. That would never, it's never happened any other time except for to Kareem. And it was because everyone thought he was going to the ABA. But there was a Sports Illustrated or a Sport Magazine article written at the time, basically alleging that one of the reasons why Russell retired when he did, after just winning his second in a row as player coach and Boston not having anyone in place to replace him, was that he didn't want to, if he didn't believe he had a chance of winning, he didn't want to play.
Right.
And it insinuated that with Alcindor coming in, it wouldn't be such a given, and that's one of the reasons why he retired. I don't believe it, but it was an actual article that was written at the time.
Yep.
Yo, can I say something real quick?
Yes, sir.
I just saw somebody, Stephanie Russell, she said a comment in there, and I want to shout her out, man, because she's right, man. There's too much emphasis on the rules and how we, like, this is why I was saying, and me and Rex were talking about in the email thread. We should, when I say the 90s rules, listen, when you guys go play in basketball at the playground, are y'all taking 10, 15 minutes describing how y'all playing the game? No, y'all are playing basketball the way that basketball is intended to be played.
That's what I'm a fan of. That's why I'm not an NBA fan.
Well, right. So what I'm saying is when we're describing these rules or we're trying to make our teams, we should be making the teams based off of who we think is going to win a game out there on the basketball court playing basketball.
But that's exactly why I gave a playground list as well.
Right.
That is exactly why I gave a playground list as well.
Freaking Judge, man, stop bringing up Rudy Gobert and Jaren Jackson Jr., man. I don't want to hear these guys' names ever again. We're talking about defense, man. Don't ever bring them up. This is not NBA defense. This is not. You are not allowed to play NBA defense, man. We're talking about Steph Curry. You got Steph Curry on your list. You got Dirk Nowitzki on your list. You got Kareem, Rex. You got Magic and Bird or whatever. My only problem, well, I got two problems. Of course I do, because that's who I am. But I got two problems. It's going to be Steph and Dirk. To me, Steph and Dirk, man, especially Steph, though. Steph, to me, he's not going to be doing anything out there on the court, man. To me, Steph Curry is the only thing I have on your list. Other than that, I got
him playing off of Magic, basically in the Byron Scott role, which is a spot-up shooter. It means that you can't double-team Bird. You cannot double-team Kareem. You cannot double-team Magic. Because the one thing that Steph can do, if he played back in the 80s, he would be a spot-up shooter primarily as a shooting guard. And that's what I'm using him as. I'm using him as an improvement on John Paxson. I'm using him as a modern John Paxson.
He can't play defense, Rex. He can't play
admitted that.
So you have two guys on your team that are liabilities, Dirk Nowitzki and Steph Curry. They are full-blown liabilities on defense.
Yep.
If we're talking about foot speed for Dirk Nowitzki, he's not the greatest athlete. So on defense, these guys are going to be struggling out there no matter what kind of rules we're talking about. If we're just talking about playing basketball. Steph Curry on defense, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
Hey, we can hide Dirk's weakness on
that was like
defense
the first
as a
thing
team.
I said, that's my weak spot, but I'm going by modern rules and the emphasis on the three and the emphasis on offense and how on defense you can't really apply pressure these days. That's specifically what I said. That's why I gave a second team that's playground rules, that doesn't go by the NBA garbage. It's just if you show up on the court and y'all start running, how we playing? I made a second team for that, which was Magic, Jordan, Doc, Barkley, and Wilt.
Yeah, but just because defense isn't what it used to be doesn't mean that we're still playing defense. Like Kawhi Leonard is still a top right defender. There's still defense is still in the game. Yeah. Let's not talk as if like
Kareem
defense
retired
is not
as the all-time leading shot blocker. Okay. Bird averaged a decent number of steals. Magic led the league in steals twice, and I believe Steph has been up there in steals. So I got quick hands. Okay, I got quick hands, I got spacing, and Bird, Dirk, and Kareem all can get you 10, and Magic can all get you 10 rebounds a game. Like I said, I'm giving up first shots. I admit that, but you're not getting a second shot because I've got 4 defensive rebounders.
Do you have any offensive rebounders?
No.
Who's rebounding? Dirk Nowitzki ain't rebounding, man. What's he rebounding? Dirk ain't rebounding.
Look at Dirk's rebounding.
Dirk's a double-digit rebounder.
Look at his rebound stats
Dirk
for his
Nowitzki
career.
is not rebounding, man.
Look at his
Get outta here.
stats. Look at the
How
stats.
tall is Dirk Nowitzki? How tall is he?
He's 7 foot.
7.
All right. How many rebound titles Dirk Nowitzki ever come close to winning?
He's been
I'm
like
not
top
reading
5 or
about
10.
rebounding titles.
He's never
I
been
need
a
him to
rebound
get
title.
his share.
This is
It's-
no
it's-
knock on
it's
Dirk.
a team
Like
game.
you said, these are greats. But
It's a
he's
team
not a
game.
rebounder.
I just
You can't
need him to
flex.
get his
You
share.
can't put him in
It's
there
true.
as a rebounder, man. Stop it.
Larry Bird is a better rebounder than Dirk, and you got him at the 3.
Larry Bird for his position is
That's
a
fair.
great rebounder at the small
Yep.
forward position, no doubt.
Which means Dirk doesn't have to be as good at it. Thank you.
No
You
doubt.
just
What about
proved
your
the point of why I made that
offensive
team.
rebounds? What about
And you
offensive
also got young
rebounds?
Kareem in
Can't
there
put
who
him
was
in.
averaging
He's just 4
15.
guys.
Once again, today's
Your
rules.
best rebounders are Kareem,
Bro.
Larry
Yep.
Bird, and Magic Johnson. And
Yep.
Magic Johnson, because his rebounding at the point guard position is very good. But I'm not putting Dirk as a great rebounder at the power forward position. He's
I
not
didn't say he was a
rebounder
great
at that position.
rebounder. I said I
Get
had
outta here.
4 guys who can get you 10 defensive rebounds. That's all I said.
No, but no, hold
numbers.
on. But
That's
you
just
have a
numbers,
shooting
man.
team. You have a shooting team, so you need some offensive rebounding. When you have a shooting team, where's it coming from?
All depends on how you look at it. Bird was a defensive, offensive rebounder. But once
Yo,
again,
you don't have any offensive rebounders.
Dirk doesn't
No, I
miss. There's no
don't.
rebounds.
but I said you guys are pulling up stuff that I told you when I presented my team.
No,
I
I'm
think
just
your
telling you,
second.
you
I
got
think your
4
second
rebounders,
team. I think
You
his
got
second
three.
team
You
is
got
his
3
real
rebounders.
team.
Yeah.
I think his
The second team
playground
is the
team
team
is
I
his real
wanted,
team.
but we're going by modern rules. And once again, guys, remember, please, I don't watch NBA. All I know about modern rules is what you all are constantly
Okay,
complaining
yo.
about and what I hear. I hear
Let's
it's
help him
all
out.
threes, no defense.
That's right.
So
Let-
I made a
let's
team
help
that
him
was
out.
all threes
Yo,
and no
that's right.
defense. I
That's
don't
right,
watch
Rex.
NBA. I don't know. I haven't watched
I
a game
vote-
since 2014.
I vote to help out Rex. I vote to take his 2 teams and make 1 team. I'm cool. I'm confident to help him out because
Where's the camera? Can you see it? I can't get it on there. There's the first
man.
team.
let's
That's
help him
official,
out.
Rex.
There's
That's really
the second
official,
team.
man.
Okay. There you go.
I have mine written in a notebook.
I printed that out at 11:58 because I thought I was going to be doing this on my phone, so I couldn't pull it up while I was on the screen. I found that out. Can't go to Samsung Notes while you're on.
You got
camera.
Magic and Dr. J, Michael Jordan, Magic, Jordan, Dr. J, Barkley,
and Wilt.
and Wilt.
Yeah. Because on Playground, Barkley and Wilt are just going to
Me and
knock
you,
the
Rex,
crap
me
out of
and you got
everybody.
Barkley, man. Me and Rex got
So-
Barkley. He knows.
Okay, so we have you have to decide right now, Rex, because we can't talk about both your teams. We'll be here.
Well, we
another-
already talked. No. I'm
I
sticking with
think-
the first
I-
team.
I-
That was
I-
the criteria that you went by. I made the
So
first team. I
your
said
team
I
is
was
your
going to
first
come in
team.
last. I said I
Because-
was going to come in last. I said
Your
my
team
team
is
was
your
weak
first
team.
defensively.
Okay.
I said I
Dart's
had no
team's gonna
offensive
beat you.
rebounding. I said all these things. I can see.
Dart's team is beating your team.
My team's
Okay,
beating-
I said that.
My
I
team's
said
beating
that.
all
said
of
that like
you.
that was
I
an
literally
insult.
told Dart. I
No,
literally
no.
told Dart that his team was beating mine, didn't I? I said this. Everything that
Okay,
you
all
guys
right.
are saying to me, I already told you.
All right, so it's everybody. So you know it's gonna be between me and Nick.
Yes, I'm last.
And
I
OG,
said my team. After everyone
maybe
gave their
Robin.
teams, I told you I'm last. I'm coming in last in this. I
So
said
the top
that.
3, we know the top 3. We know the top 3. We're gonna iron it out. We know the top 3. But Dart, I like your team. I do.
It's the best one. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I like it. And I respect
Well, you
Stockton
got
too a
Osborne
lot.
Park represented, so I should say okay.
But yeah, wait a minute. Stockton has no rings. Everybody on this thing has rings. I don't know, man. I gotta go rings, man.
Charles Barkley ain't got no rings, man.
Squat, squat, squat.
They both do have Olympic gold medals, though.
Oh shit!
I don't have
that's
no
great.
losers on my team. I only got murderers and I only got killers on my team.
What does anybody else have to say anything about Rex's team?
I got nothing to say.
Do you see?
OG's
Okay, you
turn.
see what Ren Sports said? That's exactly what I said. Dirk is a defensive liability, but on offense in today's game, he's an alpha.
The mismatch.
Tell Rent Sport, everybody on our list can score. There's no non-scorers except Bill Russell on our team. Everyone can put the ball in the hole.
Ren Sports also said that that there was goaltending and no 3-second rule back when Wilt and Russell played. So
okay, well that's
let's
wrong.
Let's take it at that.
That's wrong. That's
Don't
wrong.
get Ren started.
Come on, Ren.
Let's go to the next one.
Come on, Ren. Come on,
3-second rule came in because of George Mikan. George Mikan fashioned the modern game. All the rules of today are because of George Mikan.
Wilt wasn't allowed to dunk. Wilt wasn't allowed to put his shoulder into people because he was going to kill them. He had to do finger rolls and stuff.
Yep.
Anyhow, he could play like Shaq. It would have been a wrap, man, if he was allowed.
Well, there were over 2,000 news articles written in Wilt's first 4 years in the league calling for him to be banished from the league because he was killing professional basketball. But you have to look at the times and you have to say how many of those were racially driven.
Right.
So, you know, that number is probably far inflated, but it was definitely a heated issue at the time as to whether Wilt should even be allowed to play.
Defense is a team strategy, okay? We can hide Dirk on defense, all right? Put him on the weak side of the zone, and he'll be just fine.
No, but dude, that's what I said.
I love your passion, Nick.
You got Kareem in the low post, and he kicks it out to Bird, and then if you have the cross court to the weak side, you got Dirk standing there with Steph. Come on.
KG's gonna be all over him, man.
He ain't gonna be all over all of them.
Dirk cooked KG when they played.
Let's get into the next trivia question.
Yeah,
please.
What player has the record for most attempted free throws in a postseason game?
Unfortunately, I think I know this
If you'd like
one.
to answer in the comments, please answer that question.
Ooh.
What player has the most free throws attempted in a postseason game? Also, if you've just come here, list your top 5 players that you would put on a team to beat any team in NBA history. And if you want the panel to address any questions that you have, please super chat it, and then whoever you're directing the question to, they will answer the question. Or if Stephanie, since she's a member, if you ask a pointed question, then I will address it, and then they will answer the question.
Shot Stephanie.
And then I think, OG, you're going first to answer that question. So whenever you're ready.
I'm going to say just attempted, right?
Attempted, not made.
O'Neal.
Shaq.
Because I'm still salty about 2006, I'm going to say Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade. Robin.
Yeah, I was actually going to say maybe Dwayne Wade in that finals when he was just crushing the Mavericks there that I'm sure Nick remembers. It's a sore one. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid.
I don't want to talk about it.
But I don't know. I want to say Dirk Nowitzki for some reason, man. I really do. But you know what? I'm gonna go with Dwayne Wade, like my man Nick, man.
All right, Judge. Who you say?
I remember they were saying at that Miami Heat playoff against Dallas that Wade was just living at the line.
The fix was in.
That's what they're saying. But there's a guy. I like Shaq, but I'm not going with Shaq. There's another guy I'm thinking, but I don't. I'm gonna go Dwayne Wade. You know, in that championship run.
All right. Who do you say, Rex?
Karl Malone.
Karl Malone. I'll give everybody in the chat to answer for a second. And somebody has gotten the answer correct.
Yo, we're on a roll today, guys. Good job, man.
The answer is Shaquille O'Neal with 39 attempts in a postseason game.
God, at least he earned it.
Against which team? Against which team was that? The Kings?
Sacramento.
I'd have to look. I don't have it ready.
Yeah, that's a good one. That was a good one, OG.
and he probably only made like 12. So,
Or actually, you know what? I bet it was Phoenix because that sounds like something D'Antoni would do.
yeah, that hack-a-shack.
No, he wasn't around then. No, not yet.
All right, OG, it's your time to discuss your team, and then have people panel you about your team.
Well, listening to everybody's speaking and everything like that, I have mad respect for all 5 of you guys and stuff, but I hate to break it to you, but my team is probably going to, because of the experience and all that stuff, it was stated earlier, I'm not ashamed to or afraid to see that we're going to go down to game 7, probably with either one of you guys and stuff. But when you got Bill Russell anchoring, I remember I saw reading in some of the comments and everything like that, he shot 47%. He only played, there was only 8 teams in the league. That meant that all those 8 teams were all-star teams. I mean, let's be real and everything like that. You got these 30 teams now, whatever. Not one of all 30 teams can potentially win a championship. Currently speaking, the Pistons aren't going to the finals.
Pistons.
Most of the teams in the NBA today have not won a championship at all, or at the very least in the last 42 years.
Right. Yeah. So, my Bill Russell sticking in the middle, I cannot go wrong with him. And, we wouldn't be on Michael Jordan Fans Are the Best if you don't have Michael on that team. That's just me and everything. Magic Johnson, like we've said all along, everybody has said whatever. He is the perennial point guard to me. I've never been, and it pains me to say, I hate the Lakers, but I respect the Lakers and Magic Johnson, Kareem, all the greats that have come through. Kobe, Shaq, all those guys. I respect them all.
Ron Artest.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Derek Fisher.
Paul Gasol.
Paul Gasol is a Hall of Famer now.
That's true. Yeah. But and for because I am so biased to it or whatever, I can't have my team out there without Larry Bird. I mean, it just that's like having a dinner and not having dessert. You have to have him out there and stuff. And then, like I said earlier, Tim Duncan, the only guy, the nicest guy probably, in the league that gets a technical and ejected from the game sitting on the bench, and I'm still in shock to this day that he gets ejected sitting on the bench talking to his teammates. That just kills me.
Yeah, he's laughing about the ref.
Right. Yeah.
And the ref could hear him.
But when it boils down to whatever, I think Tim Duncan is the quintessential the quintessential just glue guy that, he'll do whatever you need him to do. He can score, he can rebound, he can pass, he can defend, he can do it all or whatever. So if there's any help that's ever needed, whatever, that's where Tim Duncan comes in.
I am surprised. I honestly thought that you might have thrown in Kevin McHale. I was thinking you might.
I could have, but no.
Because he had the same mentality. He was a fantastic player in his own right, got all of his own accolades, but he was completely willing his entire career to take a half step back.
I could have.
And be the second guy.
Right.
And
so who's coming up the list?
I think Duncan would be completely willing to do that on that type of team.
Right.
Who's coming up the list?
Back. It's what Robin was saying he believes Kobe wouldn't be able to do.
Right. Yeah, and that's why I chose it that way and stuff. I could have chosen McHale, but I think there's a couple of things with McHale that I don't want to disrespect the game and everything and just go all Homer on me.
But I thought you were going to go somewhat Homer.
Yeah. But that's why I went that direction.
So if McHale was on the list, who was going to come off? Because he would crowd the paint with
Well, in place of Duncan, he went with Duncan. I thought when I was making my team, I was thinking of who you guys might be coming up with, and I really thought he might have, as a curveball, thrown McHale in there because he's such a Celtics fan. I thought he was going to.
Yep, and that is what I would have. Yeah, McHale could have changed, and I really did. I really truly did think about McHale because I wanted the continuity of Bird McHale because they worked well together. But I thought, no, let's be realistic in this.
You wanted more defensive presence,
right? And I already kind of threw it out there because I did my original one was the '92 Dream Team that nobody. Yeah. So,
the Dream Team.
Yeah, but here's the thing with the Dream Team, though. We're picking teams assuming that every player. This is a fantasy team. Every player is in their prime.
Right.
So if I'm picking Magic and Bird, and for those who pick Magic, Bird, Jordan, Barkley, okay, Bird and Magic were not in their prime on the Dream Team. So if they're playing against their prime selves, they're losing. You can assume that they would lose the majority of the time. Let me put it that way.
I gotta say, OG, I think I'd like your team the best after mine, of course. But I think my team would eventually outrun you, but you got size versus my team.
You just like because he has Tim Duncan on there. Stop it.
We'd outrun TD and Bird, and but in the half court, I think you would beat us in the half court for sure.
Now remember, guys, before Bird hurt his back, you look at his highlight reels. He got a whole lot of fast break dunks, layups, and all that when he was younger.
Yeah,
before he hurt the back and he started playing more of the rebounder. That's when his rebounding stats started going up a bit because he stopped getting out and running, and he stayed more. Once Cornbread was gone, he played more down low and didn't do the running out on offense. But when he was young, 81, 82, 83, he ran a lot and got a lot of easy buckets.
Which was shocking because, for a slow white guy, he could move down the floor pretty good and get up.
Because, if you ever watch, what's his name? The guy, the NBA player, former NBA player that plays all the average Joes that says that they could play an NBA player.
You know what I'm talking
about? The Scallenge.
Yeah, Scalabrini.
The White Mamba.
He specifically says the difference between a pro and sticking in the pros for as long as he did and guys that just have pro offensive talent is anticipation. The anticipation and knowing what's about to happen is what is the defining factor when everybody can shoot, everyone can dribble, everyone can jump, everyone can dunk. It's who can anticipate the best. And Bird is probably the greatest all time at anticipation. So he wasn't running 60 feet when the guy covering him was. He would take a couple cheat steps because he knew which way the ball was going. If he wasn't on the side of the court, he knew he wasn't in the right place to get a rebound. He would start out early. And he would get those cheat steps. So he was running 54 feet instead of 62 in that span of time as the ball's coming up the court. He was moving. He was turning his body, getting to a position on the court to make his defender turn a certain way so he could run around a back screen to get to the spot he wanted. He didn't make the cut when he wanted to make the cut. He made the cut when the defender was in the worst position to cover the cut. Thus, he didn't have to be as quick feet-wise because he was quicker in the head and he did have very quick hands.
Yep. And one of the things, too, just to kind of reiterate back with Russell, for anchoring the defense, Russell figured out that it may look, well, he didn't say it like this, but, it's cool like to block a shot out of bounds and the play stops. Russell didn't do that. He would block a shot and get that board, or he would be blocking it towards a person. So
he looked at blocking the shot out of bounds as a turnover.
That's right.
Because you're just giving it right back to the other team. That's what I always laughed at when I would see somebody would volleyball spike a shot out of bounds and then strut around like he was Will Chamberlain or something. It's like, you just gave me the ball back, man. I don't care.
Yeah.
I get another chance. Thank you.
Yep, exactly.
It's the stupidest play in basketball.
Yep.
Now, there are times when you can barely reach it and you just get your fingertip on it and the ball goes out of bounds. Okay. But when guys just block it swinging with their arm swing, carrying it out of bounds, that's the stupidest play in all of basketball.
It's also
the other way and knock it onto the court so a teammate can get it.
That's true. That's true. But if you ever dunked the basketball like really, really hard in your life, you also know some plays demoralize the other team. Everything you're saying is correct. I'm not going against that.
That's the whole thing. You can smack it out of bounds. You're not demoralizing me, man. That's what I'm saying. You're giving me another
How are you
shot.
guys devaluing a blocked shot? What are we talking about here, guys, man?
Because if you knock it out of bounds, it's not a blocked shot. If you knock it out of bounds, you're giving it back to me.
Will you stop it right now?
It's like fumbling a fumble recovery. It's like fumbling a fumble recovery.
You can't devalue the value of a blocked shot. The effort of jumping up to block a shot. What are we talking about here? Who cares if you block it out of bounds? The shot clock is still winding down. It doesn't make a difference. If I block the shot with 3 seconds on the shot clock, then
depending
guess
on
what?
what era it resets. Depending on what era of basketball we're talking about, the shot clock would reset.
But you're missing the point here. You're trying to devalue someone blocking a shot because they knocked out of bounds.
You're missing the point. If you
he's right. He's right. Bill Russell always says. Bill Russell used to tell Dwight Howard, when you block the ball, try keep it and get the ball back on your team. That is true. That you are 100% right.
Is the point.
But
knocking it out of bounds, you're giving away possession.
But however, I asked you, have you ever tomahawked a basketball?
Yes.
Have you ever swatted a ball? Because when you swat a ball that viciously, sometimes the guy who you're guarding, he's scared to take a shot because he's scared of you. So you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Magic is not getting intimidated. Bird is not getting intimidated. Dirk is not getting intimidated. Kareem is not getting intimidated.
Listen, when you go to block a shot and you're making an all-out effort, you cannot necessarily control where the ball is ending up. Bill Russell, not every shot that he blocks stayed in bounds.
I said that. Why are you yelling that? I said that. I said sometimes you can't control it. I said that.
You can't control it most of the time. Most of the time you can't control it. That's why no one else does it. You're making an effort to block a shot. You're not concerned what ends up. You're trying to make the block. That's the dumbest thing I've heard in my life.
That is the greatness of Bill Russell.
If I go to make a steal and it goes out of bounds, does that take away from my effort?
Of Bill Russell.
True.
Useless effort is useless.
True.
Oh, stop it, man.
Bill Russell was special for that.
You don't get trophies for trying.
He's right, bro.
How many turnovers did Bill Russell have in his career? We don't know because they didn't keep that stat. He could have 1 billion turnovers for all we know, Rex. 1 billion. So just stop it, man. All right, come on.
1 billion. 1 billion.
The only thing I'll say is,
but it didn't matter if he had 1 billion because he had a stacked team, right?
Yo, going back to OG's list. Going back to OG's list, really quick. OG, I only have 2 points for you. I really like your team. I like your TL. I like Bird at the 3. I like Magic at the 1. You got 2 amazing playmakers. You got big fundamental. And then I'm guessing you're going to put Duncan in the middle and make Russell be the roamer, right? Because that would be a dangerous roamer.
Yep.
My whole thing is this. On your team, though, I'm sealing off guys. I want Russell to kill me with score. I'm like, you guys going to beat me? Russell going to have to drop 40 on this team. I want to see that. And then second of all.
You only did that once.
And second of all, even though it seems to me you like Boston because even though Bird was on 2 all-defensive teams, a lot of people don't remember these type of things. I'm taking Jordan. As you guys seen in 2K on commercials, when he says Michael Jordan is God, I'm literally saying, yo, Michael, go kill Larry. Go make Larry smoke in the back with Red and they're going to smoke cigars. Go make him tire him out. And Kobe, go dunk on him. Go kill him. And Magic, go deal with him. Go give him the hook. That's my only thing. I'm going to make, on your squad, Russell got to drop 50 to win because I'm not KG. We're going to stop the other guys.
But none of those other guys were ever stopped. in one as far as getting their overall numbers.
Well, if it's your team, yeah, your team could be stopped easy. Your team's, especially Curry. Maybe my team, I got two-way juggernauts on my
Curry
squad.
gets stopped all the time.
Yeah. Curry's not even.
We see that in the NBA, right? Curry gets stopped all the time.
Oh yeah, in the finals, I've seen him stop for sure. For sure, you could D up Steph Curry. Yeah. It takes a serious athlete, though. That's why I have Michael Jordan on my team. He'll deal with Steph Curry, no problem.
So you're
dealing with Steph Curry 25 feet from the basket.
It don't matter, bro. It don't matter.
Covered down low and sky hooking you to death.
You saw what LeBron James did to him in 2016 when he was all over him, pushed him on the floor, and was like, "That's right, take that. Where you think you're going? That's right." I was like, "That's it, yo." Imagine when Jordan and Kobe get him.
Okay, and
I like your team though, bro. I do. Real talk. But OG, I like your team a lot. I like Russell.
Pardon me, straight up, one-on-one. Playing man.
I feel like OG's team would be really frustrating to play against.
Yeah.
Like they're all hard-nosed.
That's the word. That's the word I was trying to think of. Good one.
Because all five of my players have the potential to pass out a double team because I'm a tall team too. The shortest guy on my team is Michael Jordan. So I've got a fairly tall, lengthy team and such or whatever. So, who are you going to double team? There isn't one, person specifically that you're going to double team because the other four will technically, any one of those four could be open and it's going to score. You might want Russell to score 40. If Russell had to score, he could score. He just didn't want to. He
scored in college.
Yeah.
He scored in college.
Yeah. And
Russell didn't, or
college.
Red didn't want that. Well, it's just like John Stockton. People act like John Stockton couldn't score. John Stockton led his college conference in scoring 2 years in a row.
Yeah, Adam Morrison. Adam Morrison was a god in college too.
Who?
Adam
Morrison.
No, it wasn't.
Exactly. Who?
College.
John Stockton still gave people the business. Like I said before with GP, I'm just defending my man on my team. That's all.
No, I said Adam Morrison.
Who picked Adam Morrison for their team?
He's amazing in college.
Who picked Adam Morrison for their team?
He's on my all-college team.
No one picked him, so that's completely irrelevant.
And Leitner.
Yes.
Now, technically, OG picked Leitner first because he said the dream team.
Yeah.
So he did pick Leitner, so you can bring up Leitner.
Let's not bring up college, guys. Let's keep it NBA.
But yeah,
but just saying that Russell couldn't score is a joke. They all can score. They all can do everything, but they perform roles on a team as designated by the coach. That's what they do. That is their role in the team. So to just say, like, arbitrarily, you guys just pick all-time great players, all-time great athletes, and you go, oh, they could score. Yeah, they could.
You know what? I like to keep things objective. I like to go with evidence that all six of us can say, you know what? We can look it up. It's true. It happened. Not in my head or what I subjectively think, what the whole world can objectively say, yeah, that happened for sure. Yep. Yeah.
And
but I hear you,
you
bro.
know what did happen for sure? Bill Russell has the third highest assist average of any center that ever played in the NBA in history. He was a passing big man.
Oh.
That's why he didn't score a lot. He has the third highest assist average ever as a center.
And see,
that's what people that just go, oh, he was all defense. Oh, well, he only won rings. He was a 5-time MVP. He has the third highest assist average of any center ever.
Yeah.
Does anybody slam Magic for not scoring 25, 30 a game? No.
Yeah, man. He's a top 5 offensive center, man. He's a top 5 offensive center.
He played the high post.
He's a top 5
distributor. That was his role on the team, and he did it better than anyone who has ever done it. The rings prove it.
He's a top 5 offensive center. You're right. He got that. You're right.
Yep. And I would have, and it's a toss-up, flip a coin of having either Phil Jackson running that triangle type offense with me or Red Auerbach or whatever that knew how to work with Russell.
Yeah.
Yep. because
Well, that was the beauty, and that's how they really beat Wilt, was by running the high post. Back then, Wilt would have to step out on Russell and the backdoor cutters.
That's right.
Would get them because they pretty much invented the whole double screen backdoor cut thing.
Yep. That's why
I think that's what
I laugh a lot at when we were talking, and today's NBA is either dunking or 3-point and stuff.
Yeah.
Personally to me, if I shot 60% from 2, probably had at least 1 or 2 and 1s in there, or I'm letting you shoot 40% from 3, I'm going to win. And people don't understand that, because 40% from 3, that's 12 points, 4 out of 10, or 4. Yeah. But my 6 out of 10 plus a couple and 1s, I'm going to have 13, 14 points.
Not only that, the defense is working harder, and you're also getting more consistent rebounding. When you're doing nothing but shooting threes, you get less consistent rebounding. Remember back in the day, man, they used to actually have called plays off offensive rebounds.
Right.
Back in the day.
Yep.
You got none of that now. It's just chase it down, grab it, throw it back out top, set it up for another 3.
And
back in the day, they used to say, okay, if the rebound goes to the right and it's going towards such and such or such and such, then the guy defending the wing on the weak side, you don't get back on defense against him. You cut to the hole. So when we get the offensive rebound, it's just not a matter of him trying to put it back. He actually has a cutter off of the offensive rebound to put it back up. And if you watch a lot of early 80s basketball, and especially late 70s, you'll see that, where teams actually ran plays off of offensive rebounds. That's completely gone from the game.
Yep.
You should have put Moses Malone on your squad.
I was thinking about it.
You have no choice if you have all them shooters.
But he's even worse defensively. At least Kareem, I got the all-time leading shot blocker when he retired.
At least if you get the board, you have another chance, like keeping the ball in bounds on a shot block.
Yeah. But then I lose the rim protection though, and since my guys are so slow out front, I felt I needed the rim protection more.
I just because my team has been attacked, in its soul multiple times.
Oh, I'm gonna get on you when you go.
I chose my guys because of a theme style of offense. So I just want to put that out there.
No, me too.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But does anybody have any more questions for OG, or OG, do you have anything else you want to say about your team?
Yeah, you
can't wait to.
You guys try. You can try. But
I like his team. His team is hard, man. His team is hard, man.
Look, as the coach that would go 0-5 here. OG has a really good team, and I think I'd get walked on.
And to bring up actually your point, Rex, about those game 7s and all that stuff, my guys, all except for Michael, not really ever playing in a game 7 of any sort, but all of my guys all played in game 7s. They have that clutch gene, that they aren't afraid of the moment.
Well, and then when you throw Jordan in there, obviously, game 7 or not, he wasn't afraid of the moment.
Exactly.
So it's
Yep.
But that's one of the things I really thought y'all were going to attack me on. That was about how Magic had the bad final series, and what was it, 84, where they tragic Johnson, and then Steph, how he historically has not been as well in the finals. I really thought y'all were going to hit me with that more than the other stuff.
No, you don't have Michael Jordan on your team, but it's all good.
Well, like I said, just because of the modern era rule designation that Dart gave us, my second team, which would be my team like for Playground, where it's just real rules, for the game, for the players, I have Jordan, of course. But if we're going to play modern rules, I took, or present day, today's rules, let me put it that way. If we're going to go by today's rules, I wanted today's most effective player. It just happened he was going to be a shooting guard.
Yep.
Trivia.
That's the only reason that came about. Jordan's on my playground team, and he would. I think you could probably say he would be the leading scorer on that playground team. Maybe Wilt. It depends.
You don't have any passing in your front court, so I wonder why you took Dirk and
who him? You meant him?
You never really had any passing in your front court, and I don't know why you didn't put Russell in to pass the ball. You know, but
me or OG?
I think OG's team's gonna take you out for sure.
Yeah, but I got front court passing. I got Bird. I got Kareem, who, to bring up Steph, it took Steph 15 and a half years as a starting point guard to pass Kareem on the all-time assist list.
Let's get into the next trivia question. Here's a question. This has to do more with the game, and let's see how many people know this. And if you're in the chat, please answer what you think the answer is. If you want to ask somebody a direct question, you can super chat, or if you're a member, you can ask a direct question and they'll answer it as well. Otherwise, just put your answer in there. And if you've just shown up, put your top 5 players that you think would win against any other basketball team in NBA history if you're building a team. So the question is, and we'll be starting with Nick with this, how many feet and inches, to clear it out, is the 3-point line from the hoop? How many feet and inches is the 3-point line from the hoop in the NBA?
25 feet, 3 inches, I think. Something like that.
25 feet, 3 inches.
No one's going to get this.
Now, wait, are you saying we have to give it to you in inches? Is that what he said? How far is it in inches?
Feet and inches.
Oh, feet and inches. Okay.
I'm going to go 24.1. 24 feet, 1 inch. Wait a minute. Where? At the corners or at the top? Because it's two different.
Yeah, he said the furthest point.
Okay. I think it's 24.
Wait, who goes next? I'm up next?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yes, you're actually supposed to go before Rex. Or, excuse me.
I haven't gone. Yeah.
Not Rex, Judge. I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad. I said 24 feet, 1 inch.
Yep.
I'm going to say 23.1.
23 feet, 1 inch.
My turn?
Yes, Rex.
23 feet, 9 inches.
Rex says 23 feet, 9. Okay.
I remember, because they made it's universal now between the FIBA and the NBA, because the NBA used to be longer 3-pointer, basic like Dream Team time or whatever. So like when they moved in for the FIBA rules and such or whatever, it made the 3-point shooting a little bit easier. So I want to think actually Nick is correct, whatever, with 25-3.
All right. If you want to answer in the chat, basic training, it says 23-9. And he says that it's a bit shorter in the corners. But if anybody else would like to answer, you got a few seconds here. And the answer is, somebody's gotten it correct. The answer is 23 feet, 9 inches. Rex has got it correct.
Oh, gee, they did bring it in the mid-90s for 2 years, and then they put it back out. And I believe it's 21 at the corners.
22.5.
22.5?
Yeah.
Man, for a big 7-footer with the size shoes, that must be hard for a 7-footer to shoot from the corner. His feet have got to be like perfect to be from out of bounds.
Yeah.
But the original 3-point line in the ABL was 25 feet. And then the ABA had it also at 25 feet. But I believe it was in the Midwest. High school basketball had the first 3-point line back in the 1930s.
Awesome. Nick, it's your turn.
All right, finally. Just kidding. Yeah, so I had my thinking when I was doing this, I was thinking, what is everyone else going to put out there and how is it going to match up? So I was quickly realizing I was going to pass over a point guard because the usual point guard on a team is a little smaller, not as athletic. Today's game especially, right, everyone can handle the ball. And the only point guard I thought was Magic because he's, again, athletic, he's big, he can play both ways. And I came down between him and LeBron, and I took LeBron's athleticism and him playing the point forward. Magic's definitely a better passer, better distributor. But I went ahead and I gave LeBron the slight edge in the two-way athleticism. Slightly better shooter than Magic, although probably not by much from the three-point line. He's going to probably be setting a lot of picks for me. Ironically, I don't think he necessarily needs the ball, so that was another thing that I liked about LeBron. So I had him again. He barely beat out Magic. It was between him and Magic for the point. And then obviously I went MJ, Kobe, the two-way backcourt. They're probably going to be guarding the 1 and 2. LeBron and Bird between the 3 and the 4. I'll put Bird on the slower offensive guy that he'll be guarding on defense. So I had them at the 3 and the 4 in terms of defense. And I was going to go Hakeem, but then I realized with Bird at the 4 and LeBron, I'm probably a little small. So I just went with straight athleticism and prowess with Wilt. He's also, I think, pound for pound, maybe the greatest athlete that's ever played. When you look at his track numbers and his high jump and stuff like that, it was just crazy how strong he was too. So, if I got Wilt running the floor, I think that's another good sort of physicality that he brings. Everyone's a two-way player. That was another thing I wanted. You have to be able to go both ways. So I went with just straight physical prowess at the 5 with Wilt. It was between him and Hakeem. Again, I was thinking, right, like if someone picks a Shaq, right, and Kareem and Wilt kind of alluded to this when they asked him about Shaq, the first thing they're doing is they're running all game, right? They're just going to try and get Shaq by the 3rd, 4th quarter. They're going to try and wear him down. Shaq's not the best free throw shooter, although neither is Wilt sometimes. So that's what my thinking was. I got Kobe and MJ locking down the 1 and 2. MJ's probably guarding the point. Kobe's guarding the 2. I let LeBron and Bird switch on the 3 and 4, just depending on the matchup. LeBron and Bird don't have to be ball dominant. And again, LeBron doesn't have to play point, right? I'm just thinking LeBron for his physicality and athleticism. Let him run around with Wilt. I think Bird's probably, in this scenario of all-time greats, I think Bird's a great glue guy. He doesn't need the ball, but he makes quick decisions. So I think Bird in this scenario kind of has to be included. I think he brings it all together in many ways with playing with a lot of other great talent. And then I just went power at the 5 with Wilt, and that's kind of what was my thinking ultimately. Magic's probably the next guy in. If I had to give someone an honorable mention, it's probably him at the point, and maybe Hakeem at the 5. And to be honest, he gets a lot of flack, but I really like Kawhi too as a two-way player. I think we haven't brought him up yet. I thought about him a little bit, him and KG too. So KG was right on the outside as well, but that's my 5.
All right. What do y'all have to say about next list?
Shots fired everywhere. Sound it up. Cue it up. All right. First of all, at the top, absolutely no LeBron James. Absolutely not. There's no team with LeBron James on it. I can't do it when you're talking about how you're going to utilize LeBron James. Because when you're talking about LeBron James possibly playing off the ball, to me, it almost goes to what I was talking about with Kobe, the track record. There's no evidence to support LeBron James being able to play in a system where he doesn't have the ball in his hand. He just can't do it. That's the problem. So when you have him out there with Michael Jordan and Kobe and these guys, You were saying it. LeBron let him be an athlete and just run around. He ain't gonna do that. He don't know how to do that. He don't know how to make backdoor cuts or cut down the lane or make a screen and come off the screen or come off a catch and shoot. And I can't believe you actually said that LeBron James is a better shooter than Magic Johnson. I can't believe you went there. Magic Johnson shoots like 90% from the free throw line. LeBron James barely scrapes 70, barely. So I don't know about that, but your team is right on the money. You got some good guys on there. I told you guys earlier, the Kobe and Jordan thing to me, just like Judge, I don't know if it would work, if I'm picking them on the team. But LeBron James, there's no way LeBron James is not dominating that basketball.
My thought with Magic, the reason why I left Magic off was when I said shooting, I was more specifically thinking three-point shooting and stretching the floor. I see that as a little bit of a liability that if you have this great team and you're able to sag off of Magic a little bit and keep him out of the paint, and you're allowed to help a little bit more, and there's a guy you don't have to worry about on the outside. I didn't like that with Magic. But again, he obviously finds ways to make up for it, right? But that was just my thinking with, LeBron I would say, is a slightly better three-point shooter or a perimeter shooter. Again, probably not by much, but enough to where you can't just let LeBron just shoot wide-open threes. And again, transitional...
Yes, you can! Yes, you can.
Transitionally.
Time again, Nick. What are you talking about? I will let LeBron James stand on the three-point line all game long and shoot three-point shots. I will allow him to do that.
He's not the best. I agree. He's not the best, but I think he's a little bit better, especially if he can take a step in. That was just my thought with Magic. I don't like his inability to hit open threes or be the best three-point shooter. And, I think LeBron in transition is still scary. Whether like him or hate him, he's definitely scary in transition. Definitely someone you have to regard. And also on defense, I do think LeBron brings a little bit of matchup versatility. He can guard a 3 or 4, that kind of thing. His athleticism, chase down blocks, right? I think he brings and again, he doesn't have to be a true point, right? Michael and Kobe can bring the ball up too or handle the ball, even Bird in transition as well. So I get what you're saying, but I just thought overall, like, if I can just have LeBron running around with these guys, I think he can be serviceable. That was just kind of my thought.
Okay, so you and I, we almost have the same list, right? Except I have Magic, and I have Magic, and you have LeBron. So this is why I only have one thing wrong with your. I only got like really one thing wrong with your list, right? You also have Bird in there, right? So I told you, and I went with KG because I just want the elite godlike defense with the ability to score. This is my problem with your list, and this is why it's not gonna work. And this is why my list is the best one. Aside from the fact that we both got two-way guards on the wings. I have some facts to give to you before, and that's all I want to say to you. LeBron James only has one season where he averaged 10 assists. Magic Johnson has over 9.
Yeah, so but that's the one season that LeBron actually played point, though.
That's nice. I don't care. So he only has one. So then number 2, that means I want Magic being the facilitator. I want him being the main playmaker for my team because he is way better than LeBron at facilitating and playmaking and passing. Number 2, LeBron James has never even had when you're 6'9", 6'8" on defense, you're playing a lot of passing lanes, a lot of deflections, or let's not pass the ball that direction because there's an octopus that will steal the ball. LeBron James does not have a season where he even got 2 steals a game. He never averaged 2, unlike John Stockton, who's averaged way more than that. Magic Johnson has averaged more than 2. Magic Johnson has averaged more than 3, which facilitates, which initiates the transition. Because they say he's like LeBron James is the best transition player. I think it's Magic Johnson. Number 3. LeBron James doesn't even have a season where he's averaged 80% at the line. He's never averaged 80. This guy, Magic Johnson, has averaged over 90% at the line. LeBron James has never had a season where he averaged more 3-point percentage than Magic Johnson. He's never had a season where he's averaged more rebounds than Magic Johnson. He's scored more than Magic Johnson. So when it comes to off ball, once Magic's not scoring, there's so many other things that Magic's doing at an elite level. So LeBron James cannot be my point guard. He cannot be my main facilitator. I thought about him though. I really did. But when I looked at the facts, the objective truth, and the rings, he's out. And another thing before Rex jumps on me, if I look at the season before Magic Johnson faced Michael Jordan in the finals, where Kareem was already gone for 2 years, Magic Johnson was like almost an MVP winner, putting up crazy stats.
No, he was the MVP winner after Kareem retired.
But before he faced Michael, he had a season before the Lakers were able to retool when he got sick and he got his disease, whatnot. We never saw the best out of Magic Johnson. It was only a 12-year career. So in 12 years, he did more than score than LeBron. So that's the only problem I have with your list. And then I thought about Bird. I told you I almost put Bird in there or Hakeem. I just had to go the God defense with KG. But I love your list.
Anybody else have anything to say about next list? Or
Nothing to say. Let's move on. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, I was going to say the same thing. I just don't understand, especially after last week's show. Magic Johnson has the 6th highest assist totals for the finals in history. And then at number 7 is Jordan. I don't know how anyone can pick a team and not have Magic for this type of team and not have Magic. I mean, he proved it beyond proving it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you said that you were thinking about what everyone else was going to do, I understand the whole, I'm going to go someone against Magic, but if everyone else has Magic and no one else at any position is as solidified as Magic, he's so far ahead of every other point guard. Even Stockton, he's so far ahead in the game of basketball above the next competitor. And what I mean by that is the space between Magic and, if you want to say Robertson, Stockton, if you want to say LeBron, as a point guard, is a bigger gap than Jordan to Kobe or Jordan to West. He's so far ahead of the second place guy at his position that if everyone else has that guy, you're instantly, from the second you start your possession, are at a weak spot. You're playing from behind from the second you inbound the ball if you take someone else. That's all I'm saying.
Well, remember, like, LeBron is not like in this team, right? I don't have a traditional point guard, right? It's just Kobe and Michael and LeBron in my backcourt, essentially. LeBron's not running my offense, if that makes sense. Like, maybe he's bringing the ball up, or him and Michael, but other than that, the other things that he does, his athleticism is kind of why I picked him over Magic. I understand Magic's a better point guard, a better passer, etc. Like, I get all that. I was just going with an overall 5 if I have to run them out there. I like LeBron's versatility a little more than Magic as a point guard, right?
Okay, so you're going more like Dart did. You're looking at running.
Yeah. Versatility. Kobe, I think LeBron's much like Magic. He can guard 4 positions.
The other team into the dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we talk about this Magic Johnson slaying the door?
That's even worse
right now.
It's even worse right now. Then what you're saying is even worse.
We're gonna leave them alone, Robin, because we're gonna leave them alone.
If you have LeBron James on your team, let's all be honest. LeBron James' greatest talent is his passing ability. So if he's not passing, he doesn't do anything else at an elite level. He can score, but he can't shoot. So what's he gonna do?
Yeah, but he's actually would be setting up Kobe and Jordan.
But he just said LeBron wouldn't be his playmaker. He doesn't have a point guard. So who's your point guard on your team?
Well, but that's the whole thing. Having three guys of that caliber scorer, bringing the ball up interchangeably, think of your defense. That makes your defensive play calling really tough because one play, you got Jordan coming up, bringing the ball. So you have to play a certain way. Then the next play, you got Kobe bringing the ball up. You've got to play another way. Then the third time, you got LeBron bringing the ball up. All three guys are essentially in a rotation, switching between the 1, the 2, and the 3 on a possession-by-possession basis. That could work. That in a one-game scenario or a one-series scenario, that could work.
But here's the problem.
Basically what they wanted to do in Orlando.
But here's the problem. They're not elite. That's not the problem. If he's going against your team is an elite team, so you need elite playmaking. Michael and Kobe are good passers. But with this kind of situation, what we're doing today, we need elite. Like Michael and Kobe are not going to be throwing alley hoops to Wilt. You need an elite playmaker. Dart has Stockton and Magic. He has 2 elite playmakers on his team. So that ball will be moving. As a matter of fact, OG has Magic and Bird. Bird's a better passer than Kobe and Michael. I have
Magic and Bird, yeah. I have Magic and Bird also.
So both of you guys have Magic and Bird, you and OG. So now I see elite playmaking. What we're doing today, you need to have elite. Like, we don't need to have good. Michael and Kobe are on this team to be elite on defense and elite scoring.
Think he said he picked LeBron because he favored elite athleticism.
Like okay, if you take Magic and Stockton, right, and I'm able to throw LeBron, Michael, or Kobe at them, I don't think on offense they're playmaking like you would think they would, right? I think Jordan on Stockton is a problem for Stockton, and I think if I can put Kobe or LeBron on Magic, again, I'm sagging off Magic a little bit. I just don't think they're running around making plays like you would think. That it's a matchup thing too, right? Like, again, I'm not using LeBron to call out plays and run an offense per se, right? That's not really why he's on my team.
So that's why
he can't do anything. He can do literally nothing.
He does a little bit of everything. He's not that bad. You're acting like he can't do anything.
This all-time leading assist guy can do nothing.
No, yeah, listen, anybody can average a certain amount of assists when they have the ball in their hand all the time. That's the point I'm trying to make. For 20
years.
You guys are not, you said something about LeBron James winning a scoring title or having 10 assists when he was playing point guard. LeBron James always been a point guard. He dominates the ball. That's the whole point here. The only time he has not been the main facilitator on his team was when he was on the Miami Heat. And that was when he was the most successful. But guess what? He didn't like that. So he left because Pat Riley would not fire Eric Spoelstra. You cannot sit here and tell me LeBron James would be able to play off the ball and try to tell me he was a point guard that averaged 10 assists a game in the bubble year. Are you guys kidding me right now? He dominates the basketball. He waits for guys to come off of action and he throws a pass to them for a three-point shot. That is not nothing fancy or special. Larry Bird is a better passer than LeBron James has ever been. We need to stop this nonsense right now.
You made a mistake, bro. You made a mistake.
Can I ask a legitimate question? Referring to this point, specifically to this point. I have not watched Team USA with LeBron on it. When he's with those other guys, does he play the same way he does during league play?
No.
How does he fit in on Team USA? Does he play the way that Nick is saying? Or does he stick to his MO in NBA games?
He doesn't play like that, bro. He plays like an athletic forward who runs. He likes transition steals.
Which is what Nick is saying.
No, but you're missing on
put LeBron at the 3 then. Put Jordan at the 1, Kobe at the 2, and LeBron at the 3. Like, it doesn't have to be.
Remember the mindset of the 2008 Redeem team. Why was that team necessary? Because LeBron James and the other team was losing. So when Kobe came over, of course LeBron James took a backseat. He didn't have a choice. He had to take a backseat. We're talking about the NBA game. We're talking about what he's done in his career on the NBA level.
Yeah, but he has that. He has Kobe and Jordan on the team too. So would he not do the same thing?
He's never shown the ability to play off ball. That's all I'm saying. You guys can say whatever you want. He's never shown the ability to do that. Never.
He can't play off ball. He can't play off ball.
Dart wants to say something.
So I just want to say, because I know some people got to go soon, so I think we should transition to the next trivia question.
Okay.
Get to my team and start closing it off. That way, people can all leave at the same time. Yeah. I mean, in short, I think Nick, your team is really good. The only thing is it's really just for me. In short, it's just the egos of Wilt and LeBron that they seem that they just need to tailor make their team, and that's just down a rabbit hole. But I mean, all of them are great players.
Well, Nick was going to have Jordan and Wilt room together on the road.
But the next trivia question is, who were Triple J in the early 90s? Which 3 players were Triple J?
Say that again. Sorry.
What 3 players were known as Triple J?
Oh, dude, you're asking. At least I think I know.
Yeah, you should know.
Who's up first?
Yeah.
Me?
I believe it's you, Robin. And it was in 1993. That was the timeline. Who was Triple J? Robin, you go first. If you're in the comments, you can answer in the comments.
Yes.
I'm gonna say Jason Kidd, Jamal Mashburn, and Jimmy Jackson.
Ah, darn it.
All right. Judge, who do you say it is?
Triple J. Remember Triple J. That's Jason Kidd, Jim Jackson. I'm drawing a blank right now. I don't think those guys were on Dallas, right? I don't think Robbins. I think he messed up the J. It was Jim Jackson. It wasn't even Tony Braxton or something like that, and Jason Kidd. I don't remember the last one, I don't remember the last one. It's Jim Jackson, Jason Kidd, and it's not Jamal Mashburn. It wasn't Jamal Mashburn. Was it Jamal Mashburn on that squad?
Need an answer.
I gotta go with Mash.
Come on, Judge.
I gotta go with Mash. It's on Dallas. I go with Mash.
Yeah, it's Jason Kidd, Monster Mash, and Jimmy Ego.
OG.
Same, all 3.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right. If anybody has a different answer,
Mash went for 50.
Monster Mash Burn.
And all of you got
Pippin.
All of you got it correct.
Yeah, Monster Mash went for 50.
You guys all did me proud knowing your Mavericks history.
Well, no, I know it because I covered Jimmy Jackson once for 3 plays. He dunked on me twice.
Aye.
Yeah.
Where he dunked behind me. Put it that way.
Yeah.
What NBA players dunking on you? That's a serious thing, brother.
No.
At least I played him.
Yeah,
for sure. Always love those stories.
Hell yeah.
So for my team, let me have it. Let's see. Hold on. How many just said room full of this? You guys gonna just take me out? All right. So like I said before, I won't go too in depth with it of what I said before, but it's going to be a transition team. I chose the players. The reason why I chose these players is I looked at some of their shot charts and where they played on the floor and what they can do. So as Rex was saying, what I had said, I was just concerned with both of them being left-handed. But as Rex was saying, most of the highlights I saw, Bill Russell was playing in the high post, taking jump shots and the like. David Robinson, Bill Russell, fastest, high endurance guys. The whole plan of my team plan is to outrun you and try and get those free fast break points and also be able to transition well. John Stockton, I believe, is an underrated transition player as well. I don't think he's as fast as these guys, but he has quick decision making, and there are a lot of highlights of him dashing, passing off plays in transition as well. I also had Magic and John Stockton on the same team. That way there could be some change up in the offense with the pick and roll. Magic can draw people down, going to the high post, going to the low block and pass it off as such. You got David Robinson in that dunk position to pass it off, and you've got cutters like Michael Jordan, and then Bill Russell or David Robinson, depending on how it is. All those guys are extremely fast, got big tickers. Additionally, Magic and Stockton both could shoot the 3-point well. So when the other guy was not being directly involved and not moving, they could each shoot the 3-point shot. Michael Jordan could play anywhere on the floor. All those guys were great defenders. I saw somebody comment that Magic was never on an all-defensive team, but he did win the Steel 2 title twice in a row. So maybe that should have been erroneous, let alone him just being a general good defender, underrated defender in general. He could play every position as well, as you'd seen. So when he was dominating centers with 50 points in his rookie season and 15 rebounds and 8 assists, I don't know how you're not playing good defense when you just smoke everybody on the other team. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, that's kind of just to speed it up a little bit. That's kind of the basis of mine, is that Magic and John Stockton, they could shoot the 3 and kind of wait to move or shoot. Jordan could play anywhere, and you got great cutters and great defenders, and great finishers with Russell and Robinson. So I guess with that little bit more explanation, come shoot me down. I think, Judge, you want to do it.
Let me say first, Magic is not a good 3-point shooter. He averaged 30% for his career.
No, I didn't say it was great. I just said he could do it. It's not like a lot of people say that he couldn't do it.
Well, he improved later in his career. Early in his career, the only time he really took 3-point shots was as desperation shots.
Yeah, we can't just throw out numbers for those guys.
But I think if you have Magic and you got the big guys, and especially if you got Jordan, you're not settling for the 3 very often. So I think it's not as big a deal. With Robinson, you got a guy that scored 71 points in a game. Then you got Jordan, who scored 69 points in a game.
That was a fake 71. It's true.
Well, I also
Jordan
wanted
63 was fake. It was in double overtime.
They fed him the ball.
I meant to add this too. All those guys
who else are going to give it to?
For compensating for the 3-pointers, all those guys were flirting with 50% field goal or more, and outside of Russell, but we're playing in today's rules where the ball's smaller and the rim isn't crazy, so it's a high possibility that those numbers would have changed a little bit for him. So
they're gonna suffocate the 3-point line. No, Dart, I like your Dart. Not only do I like your team, part of your team, and you may think it's crazy, I like Magic and Stockton more than I like Magic and Curry, because with Stockton I get the defense, I get elite steals, I get elite passing, right? So, and he can shoot he can't shoot like Steph, but he can switch that 40%. So I'm cool with that. I'll take 3 less percentage in the threes for elite steals and elite playmaking. I'll take that, right? For sure. You got Magic Johnson, so you have Magic passing to Stockton, you got Stockton passing to Magic, everyone's passing to Jordan. I like Bill Russell as the roamer. I could have went with him over KG. I went with KG because of the shooting, but Bill as a roamer that's super scary, super scary. And my only take was Robinson. I started out, but Hakeem put him to sleep. But I seen guys put him to sleep. I don't like how they fed up. I'm not a Robinson. You know what? I'm not a Robinson guy. I'm biased. I admit it. But I like your team. I like your squad, bro. A little bit small. You got Stockton in there, a small guy, but whatever.
I thought you were going to give it to me harder than that, Judge.
No, I like it. It's not bad, bro. You got Magic and Michael, and then you have arguably one of the greatest point guards ever, who's one of the best shooters. That's why I tell people, oh, Steve Nash. I'm like, yo, go look at John Stockton about Steve Nash. Now we're talking. Elite 2-way play.
I almost put Mark Price in there just to mess with you guys, but I didn't.
Mark Price.
All right. What about the rest of you guys? What do you got to say?
I wouldn't be scared.
One thing I like about it is if you look at a lot of Jordan going to the hole, so many times they pushed him left. So he's going to the hole on the left side, which you having a left-handed front court opens up that side, which means Jordan that his first step to the left would be really devastating because your big men are on the other side. If they do have to do a double team, then that means the double team has to rotate all the way 2 spaces to the full other side of the court to be effective. So that is something on the offensive end that works.
And that's why, like, I brought a little bit of X's and O's. I tried to think more than just this guy was a good player. I tried to think of how they would actually play together.
Now you would use on defense, you would have Magic playing defensively small forward, right? And then Jordan and Stockton in the backcourt. But offensively, Jordan would essentially stay on the wing and be more of the forward and do that mid-range post on the left side of the court, where you've got the 2 big men on the right side.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
Which would mean that Stockton would be spotting up, like going through screens and spotting up in the corner, and then Magic at the top of the key taking the set shot 3. So, yeah, that's a pretty good offense.
There's that too, and then you could alter if they want to throw some things in there. You could pull John Stockton in the bring him to start doing pick and rolls too, just to switch it. Give him different looks
with 2 different players. Yeah.
I wouldn't be scared of that pick and roll.
Dart, I want to ask you a question. Dart, why did you take David Robinson over Tim Duncan or Hakeem Olajuwon?
Because he can run the court in 4 seconds.
Speed and endurance. That's why.
David could get from one end of the court to the other in 4 seconds in his prime.
And he had more stamina. So that's why. It's a style. It's like I said, it's more about it was how you're going to make a team to win. And that was my style, is just to focus on transition. And then if not, he's still really good on offense and defense, either way. But he's also very fast and has a lot of stamina. Anybody else have anything?
I don't know,
Robin,
man.
what do you think?
I think you got a good list here. I like the David Robinson. I know my man Judge is not a David Robinson guy, but I like David Robinson, man. I was always a fan of him. He represents the Navy, so yeah, shout out to David Robinson. I think him and Russell, that's an interesting dynamic running down the court, I think, together. My only thing, I think that my four of my guys are better on the break, on the transition, though. I think that if you have Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Charles Barkley, like I said, I think Charles Barkley's underestimated running the floor. When I'm talking about Charles Barkley in his athletic prime, I'm not saying that he was a better floor runner than Bill Russell or David Robinson per se, but when I'm talking about Charles Barkley finishing on like the trailer on the break, to me, with the power, the two-handed power dunk that Charles Barkley had, to me was a lot more dangerous, running that break with those guys. But other than that, yeah, I really like the picks, man. John Stockton, shout out to John Stockton, man. Another gritty, hard-nosed player. He'd grab on your shorts, you know what I'm saying? He'd give you like the little willy in your ear and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? He'd do all kinds of little things out there on the court. Michael Jordan used to always talk about John Stockton and the little things he would do out there in the basketball court, the competitor that he was. So, yeah, shout out to John Stockton, man. But I don't know, man. I think my guys on the break might be a little bit better. I think Olajuwon's the only guy that he can't run like the other guys you got. You got the runners over Olajuwon. Robinson are running the break. I definitely think he's a better athlete than Olajuwon, yeah.
No, bro, I think you're good. Like, you got Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley also said when he was in his athletic prime, who was he playing with? It would have been nice to see if Mo Cheeks in his prime with his speed was playing with Charles Barkley, but who was passing Chuck the ball? Chuck was kind of by himself. So Robinson played with better players than Charles Barkley. So
I would say that Charles Barkley is probably a better dribbler running up the court than someone like a David Robinson on the break. Charles Barkley was able to push the ball, man, on those Sixers days, man, even on the early days when he was on the Phoenix Suns. Charles Barkley had decent dribbling, man, pushing that ball.
Because Rex brought up something. Rex said, how does LeBron play with Team USA? But if we go back to 92, remember how Charles Barkley played with Team USA when he played with all those playmakers? He was he looked like he's a superstar.
Well, he led the team in scoring.
He was running the floor, alley hoop. He was everywhere. He was just running when he played with Magic.
He said why. He said why. He said that because of the lineup, Daly had told them before it ever started that no one was playing over 20 minutes a game unless of an injury. So he knew he was only getting 20 minutes. So he went full bore every game because he knew he was only there for 20 minutes and then he was sitting.
Yep.
Does anybody have anything else to say about my team before we start asking more trivia questions and the like? Because I know people got to go. I'm not trying to cut people off.
People, when they hear the Russell pick, I don't think people don't seem to understand Russell in that they talk about Wilt's athleticism. Wilt was such a freak athlete because he was so much bigger, but Russell was a better athlete than Wilt. He was faster. He had a higher high jump. He was actually ranked 2nd in the country, 7th in the world. Bill Russell could have went to the 56 Olympics as a high jumper. He qualified for the track and field team as a high jumper, but you were only allowed to play one sport. And so obviously he picked basketball because he was the main guy on the basketball team.
I mean, Wilt ran like a 10-second 100-meter dash. And I think his high jump was higher than Bill's too. Although Bill,
no, it wasn't.
It wasn't. I was gonna say I know Bill came in second.
I already have.
Bill came in second one year in the high jump.
At the actual stats of the National Track and Field Archive.
Yeah. But Wilt ran track and field at Kansas too. Don't forget that.
His was 2.5 inches higher than Wilt's.
Wilt ran track and field at Kansas though. That's also true.
Yes, but he never made a national team. Bill Russell did. Bill Russell was better. That's just a fact.
What does Bill have a 40 or 100 time?
I'd have to look it up again, but he ran those for USF.
Yeah.
Wilt was a freak. Bill Russell was a freak.
Yeah, they were both freaks. Yeah, absolutely.
Was because he was so much bigger. I mean, he was like 5 inches taller, a lot heavier. Even when he was skinny, he was.
Wilt was probably a lot stronger too, right?
Oh, obviously. Yeah. The strength thing is no way. Obviously, he was out. You can't even measure how much stronger he was.
Yeah, true.
But athletically, people sleep on how great of an athlete Bill Russell changed the NBA. Problem was, 3 years later, Wilt came along. People have forgotten about Bill Russell's contribution. Bill Russell changed it from a linear game like soccer to a vertical game. That's what he did. Once he came along, then everyone started looking for the guys that could play vertically because he changed everything. Basketball strategy was like soccer strategy. The first basketball was literally a soccer ball. It was played like soccer strategically. Coaches didn't think of height. That's why when you look back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, you had centers that were 6'5" and 6'4". And they played a high post. They didn't play right under the basket. It wasn't until Bill Russell came in, and that's why Mikan was so dominant because he was bigger than everybody and stronger. He was 270 when he hit like 30 years old. He was 270. He was 6'10", wide shoulders, played very rough. Then Bill comes in, who's very slippery, very athletic, very quick, left-handed, which is a little bit like in boxing. Throws you off a bit, and he's playing vertical. He's jumping and grabbing rebounds when they're still above the rim. After they've bounced off, he's not getting position, waiting for the rebound to come down to him. The rebound hits the rim. He's jumping and grabbing it above the rim, turning and coming down in outlet position to fire it out to Kuzi and Sharman. 2 beats faster than every other team up to that point.
Listen, I want to ask Dart a question really quick about your list, Dart. I have a question.
Okay.
Dart, I want to ask you a question, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me everybody on the panel, when they made their list, they found players who are conducive to the style you want. Okay, if you're running a transitional team, how do you justify having John Stockton on the team and not LeBron James or Julius Irving if you want to run transition?
So I thought about putting Dr. J on there just because he was really fast and was really good at it. So I thought about it and I decided against it. LeBron, I thought about egos, and I think that I think the person who has the least amount of discipline on my team is Magic Johnson, and I think that's saying a lot for how disciplined my team is. So I wanted guys that aren't going to get really that frazzled, that don't have attitudes on the team, and LeBron, you know, is always trying to argue for new coaches, etc. So I didn't want to have him messing with my team and trying to just be the big dog on the team and screwing everything with it. And then who was the other guy you said? I forget.
Dr. J and because you could have put Magic at the 1 and Dr. J at the 3 or LeBron at the 3. And I like Bill, I like Robertson as transitional, sure, you know.
Okay, you just said LeBron or Dr. J, right?
Yeah.
So those are the answers for me. I didn't want to. LeBron, in theory, like on paper, I think would be better, but I just think he would jack my team up. So that's why I didn't pick him.
He jacks every team up.
Yeah.
I think Nick is the only guy who said LeBron James today.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was just
he
thinking
loves
that
LeBron.
too.
He's a closet LeBron lover.
No, I actually am not a big
He's
LeBron
defending
fan.
LeBron James in the comment section, man. Come on, Nick.
Oh my God.
So
I'm disappointed in you, Nick. Disappointed, man.
I root against
Nick
LeBron
has
all the time.
Nick has LeBron.
LeBron at the
Nick
1
has
for
LeBron.
point guard too.
I
Point
had
forward,
Steph.
baby.
Nobody had a KD, right?
Nope.
No. I mean, first of all, you need to mark this down. I selected a modern current player, okay, which I never did.
Make it official.
But because you said modern current rules. So, I mean, what does that say about the state of the game? That with 30 players, 30 positions available to select from 6 5-man teams, only 2 present players are on the list. What does that say about the modern NBA when people argue about whether it's better or worse or really? I mean, doesn't that kind
It
of
just shows our age, Rex. We're old, man. We're old, Rex.
Well, I'm old, yeah.
It's a league. It's a lot of good guys. It's hard, you know.
We're
It's a
old,
hard
man.
list.
We're all old, man.
But look
We're
at
going
how
for the
many
best
of
of the
us have
best.
the same. I mean, we had what, 4 Magics? I think, was it 2 Birds or 3?
Well, you're right. The best point guard's Magic. The best 2 guard is Jordan. And we're coming out of the age of the great centers.
No one said Shaq. I was expecting at least one Shaq if we're talking about just one game, one series, a fantasy team. I was expecting at least one Shaq.
Yeah, but Shaq's not as good on D as Wilt. That's why I think people went Wilt over Shaq.
Yeah, but that's just surprising. It gives me hope. It gives me hope. We got
your
2
list.
Russells. We got like 2 Wilts.
Your list
All
is the
right.
biggest surprise. Your list is the biggest surprise, Rex.
No,
Yours.
but I made 2 lists, and y'all seem to agree with
You
my
can't
second
make
list.
2 lists. You're not allowed to make 2 lists.
No, but I'm going with the list that by modern rules, and I said I got the worst list. I admitted that.
Robin, you got 2 lists.
I'm waving it off. So just because people got to go, and everyone that's in the comments, please go and vote on who you think has had the best team. We're going to do some rapid fire trivia questions. Oh, you're going to go, OG?
No, I'm best team.
Oh, okay. So we'll go.
Yeah, what's the score? What's the score for the trivia right now? Everybody got 2?
You got
Rex,
3.
Ooh.
Rex says 3, Nick has 1, and everyone else says 2. So if Rex gets this wrong and you guys get it right, then we'll keep going. Outside of Nick,
what's the unbeatable team? Which team has the least amount of holes? That's what I want to know.
This one.
And that'll be put in the votes. However, what team is the only team from the 8th seed to get to the NBA Finals? And we'll start And we'll start with I believe it's
me.
Is it?
I went first last time.
Okay, then it's Judge.
I go the New York Knicks.
Knicks. Rex, what do you say?
8th seed, didn't win it, but got to the finals. I feel like I knew this for about 30 years, and now I don't.
Repeat the question one more time. Sorry.
What 8th seed team is the only team to make it to the NBA Finals?
Lakers.
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 OG, what do you say?
That's a trick question.
Or the last?
What's that?
Or the last team?
The last 8 seed?
The Miami Heat.
To make it to the NBA Finals. Oh, you know what? You're right. I got the wrong question.
I was going to say, because the Knicks and the Heat both did it.
Yeah, the Knicks did it in '99 in the lockout year.
Yep.
Let's get together, Dark.
Yeah, I'm jacked up. All right.
Let's get together.
I'm giving these terrible questions.
Yeah, I know.
Right, shoot me. I don't even got the right answer. All right.
Just take Stockton off your list and you're good.
No Penny Hardaway.
Penny Hardaway.
All right. I gotta get going soon. So for who had the most assists in the 1979 season? 1978-1979 season. Who's recorded the most assists?
Per game?
No, just in total. Starting with Rex.
I think you're trying to trick me. You're trying to nab me. I want to say Kevin Porter, but I think Kevin Porter might have been the year before. I think it was Tiny Archibald.
Tiny Archibald. What do you say, OG?
I haven't a clue at all. So I will say George Gervin.
Assist?
Yeah, I know it.
Get together, OG.
Nick, what do you say?
Johnny Moore.
Nate Archibald sounds good. But yeah, I'll go Nate Archibald. I think that one sounds about right. That's what I was thinking.
It don't matter. You can't win anyway, Nick.
So go. Yeah, you might be right. Okay. Well, he said Kevin Porter before that. I'll go Kevin Porter then. Rex is probably right. He doesn't even know it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Gus Williams.
What do you say, Judge?
Yes.
Archibald.
The answer. Somebody got it right. It's Kevin Porter. However, Rex still wins as nobody else got it right to tie him.
Oh, Kevin Porter was like my favorite player.
I knew it was one of the two.
78. Did I have him backwards? I think, you know what, Nick? I think I had him backwards.
Yeah.
I think Porter was 79 with 1,099 assists. And I think Nate was averaged 30 and 10, led the league in scoring and assists in 78. I think I got the years reversed. I'm sorry.
So Rex,
that's funny.
Because I'm going to close it up right now. I want to thank everybody for coming, everybody on the panel, everybody that's commented. Appreciate it. Congratulations, Rex, for winning for, what is this? The
2 in a row. Third overall, 2 in a row.
Two in a row.
Judge won last time.
Get it together, Rex.
That's right. I lost it in overtime. That's right. I clanked it off the rim in overtime.
That's a see-now moment right there.
I do not agree. All right, I don't disagree.
Get it together, man.
So, unless you know right now,
coaching trees.
Coaching trees.
No,
Best coach.
fans do not accept how important coaching is in the game. We're doing coaching. I want you guys to research the coaching trees. Learn who learned from who and how it transitioned the game.
All right. That's what we'll be doing, coaching trees. And for everybody that's listening in the comments, like I said before, vote on what team you think was the best team that was talked about here. Again, thank you all. And for everyone, Michael Jordan fans are the best.
No holes, bro.
All right, guys.
2.
That was a good one.
Yo, all right, can we fight now? Can we fight now? Now can we fight?
Yeah, he cut it off. So
I know I felt bad, but I gotta go, and I know some some of you guys.
I gotta go pick up my wife in 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're saying modern rules, how can you not have the man that has defined the modern era on the team?
It's not true. You know what? I saw something the other day that said it's not true. It was analytics that did it, not Curry.
Yeah, I gotta go too, actually.
Analytics that did what?
Because they're saying Steph Curry's responsible for the 3-point surge.
No, I didn't say